Just guys, just quickly, the game's over in Melbourne. Richmond 2-2 leading Melbourne 1-1. Richmond 2-2 leading Melbourne 1-1. That's at the 15-minute mark of the first quarter. In the other game, at half-time, Essendon 5-5 leading North Melbourne 5-5 leading Essendon 3-7. So some pretty close games over there at this stage.
And Cupido starting up forward, boys.
Is he, or I believe that's the defensive end for the Bloods?
Well, in that case, we've got Ryan Ferguson going down forward for for West Adelaide. That's an unusual move.
And Willett's up there as well. So a couple of goal-scoring options there for the... Also, Braden Fisher looks like he's up forward. Reasonably tall forward line for the Bloods, Darryl.
It is a tall forward line, isn't it? So we'll see how we go. The umpire's got the ball in his hand. He's just about to hold it off to get this game underway. And your first caller will be Kim Morgan.
So round 4 clash, Glenelg Stadium. Bays off a loss last week taking on the Bloods, and the umpire puts the ball down now. Cranston and Moran. Moran won that one down. A pack of players dive in. Eventually it was Kane who got the football for. That was Chris Kane at half forward for the Tigers now. Going in hard was Block. He got a handball out to Allen in his first game back to home. The Blue Boots. His kick up forward. Duldig's there with a chance. Well done though to tap it out by the West Adelaide player, but it came straight to Chris Kane. He shoots on goal and he's just pushed that one through for a minor score. So the first score on the board to the Bays. They're one behind on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard. West Adelaide yet to score.
So West Adelaide bringing it back into play. Going towards the outer side wing. See, they've kicked it to a bit of a pack of Glenelg players there, if anything. Ball comes off hands. Bronick Davies in there, trying to get the hand away. It's going back in towards the forward line now. They're going backwards, West Adelaide, leaning something to open up. Keeping it further on the outer side. Oh, that's fraught with danger. Kane got the punch away. Cupido, neat hands, although it's just to the feet of his teammate. Now they're trying to run the ball back out of defence. Comes out through Schmidt. Oh, it's a smothered kick, going back in. Schmidt goes in again. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Gets it away. Davies switching out longer to Davenport. Kick just a little neat chip kick over the top. Spots up a teammate. Plays on. Oh, he's kicked it straight into the man on the mark. Tigers can be away now. Willoughby goes back by hand to Cranston. Switches back to Allen. Allen just going over the top now. Oh, he's got a teammate moving for him. That's Daniel Meyer going long into the attacking zone. Just going to fall just short and drifts across at the wrong side. That's a behind there. So 2 behinds for Glenelg. West Adelaide yet to score.
And it'll be Barber who will take the kick in for the Bloods. He's establishing himself as a full-back this season. Reasonably well covered defence for the Bloods at the moment. So Barber will go wide to the half-back flank on the outer side. The kick's a good one. Unable to take the mark was the Blood player, except his recovery is good. That was Schmidt, who went backwards by hand to a teammate who found Davenport still in the defensive 50.
I tell you what, Westies would have had 90% of the play here. They just hold the ball.
But it's all been in the Bays half at the moment. So West Adelaide got to try and move the ball forward. Davenport's gone backwards by foot to look like could have been Fisher that was fraught with danger. In the end, Anderson or Davies it was rather, got a handball. Barry's in a bit of trouble. He got a handball to half back. Now Allen's chopped it off. Big chance here for Hinge. He runs to 45, but there's a whistle off the footy.
Yeah, it was a free kick given to Izard for after disposal. Once he got rid of the ball, he was actually taking the ground. Good decision by the umpire.
So Jimmy Izard on half back. Played game number 50 last week. Former Port Power listed player. He goes short. Kick had to be spot on for Moran against Cranston, and it was. Moran's taken the mark in the centre, right in the centre of Glenelg Stadium. He's going to go to the half-forward flank. Wide kick to no one in particular. Kirkby leads in the race out there. He gathers now, does Kirkby. Went back by hand to Button. He's got it on half-back. He's kicked, looked for Block. Gee, he was taken out off the footy block there, but the umpire called play on. The ball went over the back, and here's a chance for the Bloods. Gathering it now. It's still play on. They're taking their time. Eventually, Ben Fisher weaves around a player and went short to Kerr. He couldn't take the mark, and that's just an example of the foot skills and the skill errors that have plagued the Bloods all for probably the last 2 or 3 seasons, Darryl.
It was interesting to know that the West Adelaide player there in Moran actually went way outside the outer side of the ground with his kick when he should have actually lobbed it into the goal square. He had the tall targets up in the goal square, and it's still 2 kicks away from the goal square when he goes out that outer side of ground.
Looking to farm it out by hand. Touch the fumbles there, Willoughby. He's good enough to recover. Fisher pops it over the top. He's looking for Kane. That's of the Ben variety. Goes further afield by hand to his brother. Bit of nepotism alive and well at Glenelg Oval. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Going to have a ball up on the outer side wing. Glenelg 2 behinds. West Adelaide yet to score. Moran and Cranston to go up in ruck. Punch over the top from Cranston. looking for a teammate, isolates him. Now they're going into the forward 50, looking up in the direction now of Doldig, just falls to the ground at the wrong moment. West Adelaide trying to bring the ball out, looking to switch on this outer side. They've got a teammate running, that's Piacenti, takes a bounce, looking to take another bounce, but he goes in ball.
Play.
That's a nice handball over the top. Isolates Fort Caruso, the smallest player on the ground. He goes afield by hand, unloading long and deep into the attacking zone. That's a behind there. That was from Ryan Anderson. 2 behind Glenelg, West Adelaide at 1 point.
Yeah, it was good play by the West Adelaide player. They actually bring the ball back inboard and they ran it through the midfield. They found Anderson on his own and probably should have finished that off a little bit better with a goal there.
Promising, looking good up at least for the Bloods as Mules went short to Holmes, who went to Panozzo on the half-back flank. His kick looked for Fisher. One-on-one battle with Kerr. Kerr did beautifully. If he can pick it up now, he did. Good tackle by Fisher, but Kerr broke away and was given a free kick. Could have paid on advantage, but the umpire brought the footy back.
Yeah, good decision by the umpire because he did call advantage play on, but when he blew the whistle, everybody else stopped, and actually Kerr stopped as well. So good decision by the umpire to bring the ball back.
So Daniel Kerr in game number 50 went back for Schmidt, the half-back. Going backwards a lot of the time at the moment, West Adelaide. Schmidt went over the top to Moran, still on half-back by hand. Moran went back to Kerr where he got the ball initially. 3 possessions went nowhere. Kerr's handball to Davenport, whose kick's a wobbler, but it could have almost been a teammate. Well done by Mayer. Chopped it off in front of Braden Fisher on half-back. And Mayer, former Richmond Tiger, in yellow and gold again today of the Bays, is on the Port Power list, or rookie list rather. Good kick for Chris Kane in the centre. It was a spot-on 40-metre pass. He went wide for Kirkby. Cupido, did he push him in the back? Yep. He did. So Kirkby will get his first touch here, 55 metres around from goal. He'll be too far out to score. And we'll see Moran and Barber try and get back and block this Bay 50 up. They haven't done a great job, although the kick wasn't quite on for Doldig, and getting back was Bronick Dave, and he's cut the ball off on half-back for West.
So West Adelaide coming off the half-back, looking for Moran on the outer side, spots him up. The big fella Moran, he's had an influence early. Just switch back. See, they're going straight back again. Yeah, as Darryl mentioned, this is classic West Adelaide. Just chip the ball around and wait for something to open up.
And they're not skillful enough to play this brand of footy, really, are they, Darryl?
No, I wouldn't have thought so. So turn it over here and Glenelg will make you hurt.
Davies takes it on the chest, but he's still only 35 metres out from the Bay's goal, and they've manned up very well, the Tigers. Something's going to have to open up. He's looking at here on the outer side. That's an ordinary kick at best, and it just falls inside the boundary line.
Well, that's a station sponsor, Smithfield Crash Clanger. That they've had the ball in their back half for so long and spotting up people, and that kick missed the target and it's gone out of bounds. So
Moran and Cranston to go at it once again. Moran was being held, could have almost been a free, nothing doing. Cranston gets by hand to Willoughby, pops in towards the forward 50, straight onto the chest there. That's Matty Doldig, and he'll be lining up for a realistic shot at goal. And Darryl, as you mentioned, clangers galore from West Adelaide.
Yeah, that's what we said. When you turn it over and the side against Glenelg, they will make you hurt. And the kick was a PDK station highlight there. As we see Doldig coming in from around about 40 metres out, slight angle, kicking to the Jetty Road end here of Glenelg Oval. Comes in now. Has he kicked the goal? Yes, he has. He's got the first. And after 10 minutes have gone of this first quarter, courtesy of the Grand Central time clock, Glenelg have got their first. They go to 1-8, leading West Adelaide 1 behind. And you just can't chip the ball backward and forward, and not gain any meterage, because as soon as you do turn it over, the ball will go straight back down the field to Doldig, where he was well held early, but got free, took a good strong mark, and kicked the station sponsor PDK highlight.
So Matt Dudley with the first of the day, one of the host of Bay players who resides or initially from the southeast. They've done well with the recruiting from that area in recent times. They're rural zone, the Bays. There's the ball down again. Cranston and Moran will contest. Moran flew early and got it down. Davenport tried to fist it. Well done by Ben Kane to kick the ball forward, deep into attack. Ben Fisher came out, was a good sprawl. John Hinge at ground level, soccer by Kirkby. And he's just pushed that one wide for another behind to the Bays. That takes them to 1-3. West Adelaide 1 behind.
Interesting to note Glenelg's tactic there. They just went straight and full forward, full long goal. And that's where the dangerous spots are. You don't want to be chipping short and chipping around, because if you get into your danger zone, you can score.
See, that was a very ordinary kick in from West Adelaide. The ball ends up with Chris Kane. Just looks to go by hand over the top. Hinge, Willoughby, twists, turns, snaps, and just slams it through the centre. Looked like it was drifting over. That's Willoughby's second. Another defensive error from West Adelaide. That's really costing them 2-3-15 Glenelg. West Adelaide one behind, 12 minutes gone, first term.
Yeah, Willoughby's first goal. Dolding's got the other one, but again, West Adelaide coming out of the fence, turning the ball over, and Glenelg used each other very, very well there. They handballed it off to the player who was running past. It ended up with Willoughby, who turned around and ran past his opponent very easily and kicked true for his first goal. So I'm on a science here for Glenelg. They've had a lot of the play, and West Adelaide have a lot of the play in their defensive action, but keep turning the ball over.
Josh Willoughby, the last goal, has actually had to work his way back in to the Bayside this year. Ball up again. Cranston flew very early. Neither ruckman won it down clearly. Bailey gathered, went by a hand to Davenport. He went backwards to our Plant, Ryan Plant, who went wide. Good kick for Bronick Davey, who's going across the ground. He's on the wing. He'll finally go forward and direct for a leading Willets. Couldn't take the mark. Well done by Button on that occasion to spoil. Mayer got a handball back to a teammate who went along the wing. McConnell's on the ground. He clutched that as a good mark. Bit of pressure came late from Farrier, but McConnell was up to it. Just backward to centre wing. He went into the centre where Cranston's created space. He got a host of players running past. So it will go wide. Ruwalt's in space out here on the wing. He can pick it up and gather. He could have run and taken a bounce, but he went short for Lucas. In fact, it was Panozzo who's got the ball. 2 kicks from goal here. He goes short. Hinge couldn't take the mark on 50. Bay players still got it. Adlington went back by hand. Tried to get the ball out here to Fisher. They couldn't. The kick was smothered well. And that was Barber on that occasion.
It can tell you that Chris Kane has come off through the station-sponsored Sports Power interchange gates. And coming on was Richard O'Grady for his first run in SANFL football.
So Cranston won the hit down. Anderson did well to shark it. Pierce Sandy's got it now under all sorts of pressure. Was that holding the footy umpire? It was. And great tackle by Ty Allen. I believe it is. No, it's Lucas Block, is it? Yep. So another boy, both from the southeast again. And that's strong tackling, Dale.
It was great tackling, wasn't it? They wrapped him up and he had nowhere to go. As the umpire falls over, he gets a bonk cheers from the crowd. And Block now from around about 48 metres out, virtually directly in front, kicking to the Jetty Road end. Comes in now, kicks from right on 50. The kick looks pretty good off the boot. The players are clapping as it's swung around. It has. It's gone through for his first. And Glenelg have now got their third. They got a 3-3, 21. They lead by 20 points over West Adelaide, who are just on the one behind, as we see a player coming on for West Adelaide, and that is Rowe, and coming off is Izard, and that's through the station-sponsored Sports Power interchange gates. And gee whiz, 3 goals in the first 10 minutes on the station-sponsored Grand Central time clock, and West Adelaide is certainly in trouble.
Looks ominous, doesn't it?
Well, they're kicking with the breeze too, that's the other thing, and Glenelg are kicking into the breeze, if anything.
I'd be tempted to throw Ferguson back. He really hasn't had a sniff of it at centre-half forward. They need some defensive generals back there, and we know Ferguson's very effective. Tap in. West Adelaide do get the centre clearance, and right on cue Ferguson comes out to meet it. Must be listening to the broadcast. Just fumbles a little bit by hand. Oh, that's nice work from Caruso. Twisting, turning, spots up Anderson.
Oh,
that's a smothered kick, however. Comes out. Fisher trips over a West Adelaide player, but he's got time. Cranston goes out by hand. Isolating teammates now. Running on the outer side, looking for Ben Kane. Just nudged under it. So West Adelaide have them relieving mark now at half back. Just looking for something to open up. So you can already see them looking to go backwards.
Yeah, they'll come right back here to that forward pocket.
Just giving ample time for the Tigers to drop numbers back in the offensive line.
So they went forward for a change.
It goes further afield. Moran. A couple of marks early, not really in contested situations. Yep. He summed it up perfectly, saying, where do I go, boys? Moran. Going over the top. Davenport. Switching back. Caruso. Keeps on the outer side. A spectacular one-hander from Bailey, who's changed his haircut, I noticed. Had a bit of a shave, and he's done away with the blonde tips. Looks to come back inboard. Prolific possession getter for them since coming over from Nord. Going over. Davenport. He's just in a journey of indecision at the moment. They're switching backwards. There's a bit of a surprise. Going back. Schmidt. Trying to bring it into the centre of Glenelg Stadium. That's a strong mark taken in the middle by the Bloods. Now they're looking to go further up forward. Taking a running bounce there was Anderson. He's holding the ball.
He actually got caught there. It was a great chase by the Glenelg player in Hinge. That's a station sponsor, PDK highlight, that chase.
The Hinge going over the top, long into the forward line was Mayer. And he's just drifting across to the wrong side. McConnell and Kipito in a foot race, who just dribbles over the boundary line for a throw-in.
So at the moment, West Adelaide getting the footy, and they're having up to 8-10 possessions unbroken and going nowhere. All going to be thrown in deep in the base forward line. Seller is in the ruck against Moran. Seller won that down backwards. It was a clever tap, but only West Adelaide players at home. Well done by Rose, just coming on the ground to Fisher by hand, to Bailey by hand, who goes wide to the wing. And that's a good kick. Davenport, former Cat, takes the mark on the wing. Good kick to Rowe, he'd run on. Now he's under pressure. Rowe just manages to break a Holmes tackle. Went backwards for Bailey, who took on Fisher, who did it well. Handball created a bit of space for Kerr, though he was tackled immediately. And well done by Pinozzo to Ruwalt, and the Bays turn it over again, and now they're away. This looks like it could be Kane, rather. He kicks to Seller, who takes a good strong grab 30 metres out from goal. And Darryl, that was a magnificent kick from Ben Kane, so penetrating and covered 50 metres.
Yeah, station sponsor for that is PDK Highlight. It was magnificent. But West Adelaide again turning the ball over on that outer side of the ground. And as we say, good sides are going to hurt you when you do turnovers, and that's exactly what happened. And now they've got the ball. Glenelg have got the ball. And he's coming in from around about 40 metres out. Slight angle kicking to the Jetty Road Traders end. Comes in, the kick is on its way. And again, another goal on the board to the Tigers. They've got their fourth. They go to 4 goals, 3, 27. They lead by 26 points over West Adelaide. And we've played, courtesy of the station sponsor Grand Central time clock, we've played 15 minutes of this first quarter.
Darryl, Davenport was able to find Rowe in the centre of Gliderol Stadium there. Rowe, instead of going forward and kicking to either a leading Willits or even a Ferguson they've got down there, he elected to go by hand. Messi's passage of play, and eventually came unstuck with Bailey.
Yep, that's right. Turns it over.
So ball's back in the centre. This game's already starting to get away from West Adelaide. Only 16 minutes in, first term. They just need a spark from somewhere. Not a bad bounce by the umpire. But Glenelg to win the centre clearance, and they do. Through block, goes further afield. It was a drop mark there. Coming back out now is Pinozzo. They've got plenty of numbers calling for it further afield. One of those is Willoughby. Willoughby 70 metres out from the Glenelg goal. Just looks to chip it around in the McConnell direction, over his head. Bailey to mop up the crumbs for the Bloods. Switches out into the Davenport area. Gee, it's a 3-on-1. It's setting Davenport a heck of a task. Hinge mops up the crumbs. Pops over the top. Fisher goes towards the hot spot. There's plenty of players lining up for it from both teams. Ball goes to turf. Glenelg player wraps it back in under himself, looking for a stoppage. Nothing doing. Comes out from Willoughby. Just running the ball out there is Schmidt. He's wrapped up in a tackle also. Going to have a ball up 40 metres out from the Glenelg goal. They're leading by 26 points.
So Bay's doing all the attacking, and they're back in their forward line.
Quick score from Richmond and Melbourne. Melbourne 2-6, Richmond 2-3.
Chance for West Adelaide through Caruso to run it out, but his handball was chopped off by Block. A good tackle though by Caruso. Went back in and made amends. And that was a good effort by Fort Caruso. He came over from Coburg in the VFL. He's a nippy player. Probably the shortest man on the ground, as Chris Kendall mentioned.
Should be a jockey.
Now, this time they're going more direct to the Bloods on this occasion. Davenport's got it on the wing and he spots up Willits. The kick wasn't good enough. It went to his feet. Willits picked it up pretty well done by Mules to tackle. Button's now got the footy for the Bays. They've turned it over again here, West Adelaide, and now Pinozzo can go by hand to Holmes. He can probably sweep it over the top to Willoughby out running wide. In fact, it's Ruwalt who'll go for a leading Kirkby. Well done by Cubido to kill that contest.
Yeah, good score.
And in fact, the ball stayed in and West Adelaide a chance to rebound. The kick through Fisher of the Ben variety. Found Moran on half-back. Moran will go to Rowe. He put him under a ton of pressure. Willoughby came across and brought the ball to ground. Fisher went in, couldn't gather. Couple of them there though. Ruwalt's now got the footy. Great handball for Mayer, who runs to about 80 metres from goal and kicks long to the goal square. Open goal square at that. Will it bounce through? Just wide for a behind by Daniel Mayer, and that was a very creative handball that set Mayer up, Darryl.
It certainly did, and you like to see that players running through the midfield, and then when they do that and have long shots on goal, open goal square, often does bounce through that one. There was a B-grade bounce, didn't go through. Can quickly tell you North Melbourne 6-7, Essendon 4-9.
Unopposed mark taken there from the kick in, and that's by Block. Looks to pump it straight back into the Glenelg forward 50. They're queuing up for it. It's a matter of who's going to be first, and it's Richard O'Grady with his first possession at SANFL level, looking to join that club of the goal with the first kick.
Yeah.
His teammate was so through it about it, he just about pushed him over.
Okay, O'Grady, number 39, will kick from around about 45 metres out, 45-degree angle. Kicking to the Jetty Road end. He's doing up his lace to make sure. First kick in the league football. Is he going to join that club, which I'm a member of?
No, yeah.
Now, my first 2 kicks in league footy were goals, so...
It's an even more exclusive
That's
club.
right, that's yeah, I don't know if there's too many other members of that, but O'Grady comes in now. In he comes. The kick is on its way. What's he done there? He has pushed it to the left. That it's just gone over the post for a minor score. So 4-5-29. They lead by 28 points over West Adelaide. That's the Tigers. That's on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard.
Barber brought it in short for Fisher who have to go back. Daniel Metropolis from the West Coast Eagles, people might remember, kicked 4 goals from his first 4 kicks in AFL football. As Fisher's getting a bit of the footy, but always under pressure and always in the back half. He went to Caruso on half back. Caruso's short kick was okay. Rowe gathered on off his bootlace as well. At half back went by hand to Davenport. Almost chopped off. He did okay though. Went back to Langford, who got the footy to Fisher, who ran on. And his kick to Moran's a good one on the wing.
And a bit of the ball, Moran.
Brad Moran started well. Glenelg player creeping over on the mark was Willoughby. He did that well. As Moran's centering kick again to a contest right in the centre of the over, could have exposed him, but in the end Langford's got the footy. His kick just couldn't find Ferguson. Ferguson was on his own, but Seller now has been allowed into the contest, and he quite deliberately ran that one over Darrell. And again, Langford's kick should have found Ferguson.
Well, the skill errors are just it's terrible as Bailey comes off and Izard comes on through the station-sponsored Sports Power interchange gates, and that's what's costing me. Turning the ball over far too often for mine for West Adelaide.
Willits wins the tap down. We've got another stoppage. AG put it straight to the feet there of Ferguson. Langford, unlike his namesake at Hawthorn many moons ago, about 40 metres out from the West Adelaide goal. Seller, Willits, no real conviction from either player, and they need a high to Allen.
They really need to force a goal here, West Adelaide, somehow to get themselves a goal. They can't go in at quarter time just having scored a point.
So Ty Allen wins the free, goes by hand to Panozzo, keeping it on the outer side. Good strong mark taken by the Tigers. Coming back in board, they've got so many runners all over the place. Look there for Hinge, just falls at his feet, possibly ridden into the ground. Umpire has none of that, and going to just dribble it over the boundary line for a throw-in. 55 metres around from the Glenelg goal, leading by 28 points. Just on the edge of time on first term. 11:97 AM RPH match of the day. Hinge couldn't quite get it. Neither could his teammate in Kirkby. Now the ball comes farmed out by hand for Westies. Looking for Pierce Centre. He's in plenty of space here on the grandstand side. Got time to take a bounce if he wants it, and does. The next kick's going to be critical. Good long lead, that spots him up beautifully.
Yeah, that's a station-sponsor PDK highlight that. Piasade just came on the ground as well through the station-sponsored Sports Power interchange gates.
So Braden Fisher spots it back into Langford. Goes up forward looking for a mark. Strong one taken out there too by Westies. Ferguson. And it's Ryan Ferguson, so he'll be lining up just on the edge of 50. And they just need a spark before half-time. The skipper. Can he bring home the captain's goal, Darrell?
Okay, Ferguson, we said that they need to score a goal before quarter time. We see a couple of interchanges going through the Sports Power interchange gates. We'll get those for you in just a moment. I know Bailey has come back on for West. He's played on to Cupido. Cupido comes from outside 50. The kick is on its way. Great play by West Adelaide. That's their first. Cupido's got the West Adelaide's goal they needed. They go to 1-1-7. They're still trailing Glenelg 4 goals 5-29. We see that often in football nowadays, guys, when a guy is outside his range and a player will come past, and bad defensive work from Glenelg that allow Cupido to run from half back and kick that goal.
Yeah, Darryl, they do like to put the ball in Damien Cupido's hands. Usually we see that in the half back line. Cupido will run around and receive a handball, but this time, well done by Ferguson. He actually gave the ball to Cupido in a position where he could really hurt the Bows with a goal. And a much needed one for the Bloods there. 1-1-7. West Adelaide 4, so Glenelg rather 4-5-29. 22 points the margin. We believe Glenelg are kicking into the breeze, or they are kicking into the breeze. Moran's tap down, well done by Rowe to push a handball forward. Half forward for the Bloods, well done by Ben Kane. Ben Newells came out and met it. In the end, the Bays gathered. The handball was cut off by Bronick Davey. Pack of players on this one at half forward for the Bloods. The ball somehow split out to Caruso. He'll be tackled by Holmes. What the umpire say here will ball that one up correctly. Thought Caruso had no real chance to get rid of that footy. And we're going to see a ball up here. Half forward for the West Adelaide side have kicked the last goal. Moran will do the ruck work against Seller. Seller's hit down was good. Well done by Ben Kane to get a kick forward. Bailey cut it off well though. In the end it came out in the direction of O'Grady, whose handball was a good one. Panozzo was tackled. He got the footy away, but not before he was caught holding the ball according to the umpire. He got it out to Adlington, but the umpire awarded Piasani for a tackle. Piasani played on. His bounce didn't come up to himself properly, but he was able to get a handball over the top, although that was a hopeful handball like that. And it's been cut off easily by the Bays. Mayer went to... teammate who went to Ben Kane. They're going backwards by hand here. And the kick will come in the direction of Hinge. Good strong spoil by Cubido. Ball over the back for Langford. On half-back, he spots up a team. That kick had to be absolutely perfect. Luckily for the Bloods it was. And Jimmy Izard's got the ball on half-back. Just take his time here, Izard. And go back for Langford in his second game today. And he's going to go very short again. It's Izard messing around with it again, the Bloods. Izard played on, got around Chris Kane. His bounce didn't come back either. But Langford was there in support. He'll go wide. Now they've got a couple of players on the outer side wing. One of them gathers. That was, a look of it, Barber, whose handball didn't find Bailey. He's got time to go backwards by hand for Fisher Ben. He'll go very short indeed. It's going to be Kerr who'll load the footy up forward. Good kick. Well done, Ferguson. Did he come out and mark it? He did.
Yeah, he's in front there, guys. The ball dropped forward, so he did very well, Ferguson. So are we going to see take two with Cubido coming down to him? No, we're not. So Ferguson's going to kick from around about 50 metres out, kicking to the school end or the southern end. Can't you that Richmond 2-3 trailing Melbourne 5-6 in that big game over there at the MCG today. So Ferguson comes in from just inside 50. The kick is on its way. Has he got the accuracy? Yes, he has. He's got his first, and West Adelaide all of a sudden have got their second. They go to 2 goals, 1-13. Still trailing the Tigers 4-5-29. That's his on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard. And the station-sponsored Grand Central 12 O'clock says we've just started into time on.
Gee, Danny Maher's causing a bit of trouble for West Adelaide too at the moment. He's winning plenty of uncontested possession. They want to look at throwing a tagger onto him, you would think. He's being a very effective link man.
Running up half-back most of the time, isn't he?
Yeah, and just spotting up teammates further afield. Lovely disposal. Ball's back in the centre. Glenelg leading by 16 points. Seller goes up. Posed to Moran. Seller tries to win the contested possession and does. Now looking to spot it out the back. Holmes, it's been cut off beautifully there by the player in Devonport. Now he's going long into the attacking zone. Ferguson takes off of one hand. Now here's a realistic chance because Fort Caruso slipping into a little bit of space. It's going to land just at his feet. Has a snap at the goals and just goes onto the wrong side of the post. That's out in the full. Going to have the relieving kick from Tom Holmes.
Yeah, station sponsor Smithfield crash clanger there. Caruso should have done more with that. Could have hooked the ball around it or even stopped and dodged past his opponent, because he had the momentum going forward.
Just reckon he had more time than you realise there, Fort Caruso. He's got a lot of pace and he was in a metre of space. Just threw it on the boot and he sprayed it. As Willoughby's taken the kick in from the free kick to the base, he went wide across goal. Ruywalt took the ball in half-time. He handled to Holmes, but the quarter-time siren has gone here at Glenelg Stadium and into the breeze. The Bays were pretty impressive in that quarter. They kicked their first 4 goals of the contest. West Adelaide hit back with a couple late, but at quarter-time on the Angus Security Station sponsored match of the day, it is the Bays 4 goals 5-29, West Adelaide 2-1-13.
Yes, they lead by 16 points to Glenelg. The goal scorers for Glenelg, all these players become the chasers now. And we often say in football, if you've got a running player, you've got to reward that running player, because then if you don't reward him, he won't run again. And we see West Adelaide time and time again, what they seem to do, they get themselves into trouble. They handball to a stationary person, they loop the handball, it comes under pressure, and that gives the opposition team time to get there and tackle them. And that's what's been happening here. And when you tackle a team, often the ball will turn over in your way. And it's been disappointing for that sense for West Adelaide. But at least they kicked a couple of goals in that quarter, which is good. At one stage here, it was 4-5 to 1 point. So at least they've got the last 2 goals.
Indeed, players are back in position here. The umpire's got the footy. It's a pretty good turnout here, I've got to say, at Glenelg Stadium today. I reckon we've got close to 3,000 people in attendance. It's a beautiful afternoon, and the siren does go now. So we'll see Cranston and Moran, who did a pretty even battle in the first quarter. That's got to be recalled. It's an ordinary bounce. Cranston was able to take clean possession and would have been away, so we'll see a throw up here. Secondary throw up back in the centre. Obviously only 4 players allowed in the square still, as Cranston won that one. Diving in was Izard. He picked it up under a lot of pressure. Eventually it was turned over. Allen's got the footy now. He tried to wrestle his way through. Well done, Fort Caruso. He got the handball to Moran. West Adelaide now trying to go forward. Moran was caught and should have been pinged. Umpire called play on. Ruywalt's got the footy now. He went to Liebelt, who went wide. Great kick around the body as well by Liebelt. That set Ben Kane in a bit of space on the wing. He kicked forward. McConnell's one out here. He likes this. McConnell couldn't quite grasp it. Well done by Cubido. Got the crumb. Fisher was there. Kerr's under pressure and went by hand to Bronick Davey. He's under pressure as well. Seller later tackle. Well done Davey though. He got the handle to Rowe on half back. Good kick forward as well.
Great kick.
Caruso's in a lot of space. Could have taken it almost gone here, Caruso, but he did well. He waited up. Anderson, if he can take the mark or gather the footy, is away here. He took a while though, and he's at 50. Goes centering kick. Panozzo came late and hard, and that's got to be a free kick, and it is, and it's directly in front of the West Adelaide goal. I reckon that's Anderson, who was hit pretty late and pretty hard, and he's going to get a free kick 20 metres out.
Yeah, great play, wasn't it, from West Adelaide? You certainly set something up there, which is great to see, and they've put it to the top of the square.
Piasani.
And it's Piasani. He's got the ball, the captain. Not the captain, he was a captain.
Former captain.
Former captain, yep. And he's 20 metres out directly in front. So it'll be a great start for the West Adelaide side if they get a goal here. That means they would have kicked the last 3 goals. So Piasante coming in from 25 metres out, virtually directly in front. The kick is on its way, and he has missed it. And we often say you've got to kick through the ball, and I'm sick and tired of saying it, and he just tried to guide the ball through, and it hasn't got the power in the leg, and it just goes away to the far side, and a point on the board. 2-2-14, Glenelg 4-5-2. That's the station sponsor, Smithfield Crash Clanger.
And Piasani's one player on the west side who can kick the ball 55 metres as well, Chris.
Yeah, that does really hurt them. He's not a prolific goalkeeper. He did kick 3 1/4 against South last year. Good, strong mark taken from the kick in. That's Kirkby. Oh, he's kicked it straight into the man on the mark, being Cupido. Got time to recover though. Ferguson comes in to wrap up the crumbs. Goes over the top to Rowe. That's Greg Rowe, not Stormboy. Switching over the top. A little bit of time and space, but it was a set up for Liebelt of Glenelg. It's going to be a free to the Tigers at half-back.
Just quickly, Melbourne 7-7, Richmond 3-4, North Melbourne 9-7, Essendon 5-10.
So Cranston over to Chris Kane, switching into their back half now, taking their chance, Glenelg. Looking to run out by handle. It's a bit of a sloppy one, but got time to recover. That's Panozzo. Got a teammate in all sorts of space out there on the outer wing. Now he's looking to go further afield to block. Just goes over his head. Kerr on his hammer and tack. Rams the player into the ground in block, and we're going to have a throw up. It's on the outer side. We see Glenelg leading by 15 points. Umpire Matt Cousins throws it up. Moran, Cranston. West Adelaide just trying to farm it out at the stoppage. Izard pushed over on the tackle, trying to bustle his way through his Holmes. Now comes out the top, block, gets the clearing kick away from the stoppage, goes up towards centre half forward. Sellard just spills off his hands at the wrong time, goes back in, wins the crumbs, going over the top, Kane, spills out for his brother in Ben. Now he's switching over, Allen. So they're going backwards in a bit of a circumnavigational way here. Tigers, Cranston over the top, spills too hard for block. West Adelaide player could have been pushed into the turf. And we're going to have a ball up 55 metres out from the Glenelg goal. They're leading by 15 points.
Just at the moment, Daryl, the Bloods are just working their way into this contest a bit, aren't they?
They're putting pressure on the Tigers, and that's what's making them go backwards, which is good to see. They're actually at the ball and at the body, which is great to see from West Adelaide's point of view.
Moran's hit down, looked for Davies, he couldn't gather it. Fisher's in there now, he did well. Allen's handball was good as well. Put Penal's under a bit of pressure though, and he couldn't break through. And good tackle by the Blood player. Forced the ball up right on 50 for the Bays. And West Adelaide last 2 goals of the contest. They're kicking into the breeze in this quarter, but if they get the first, Andy Collins would feel like his side's right in it. As Allen went in, neither ruckman was able to get a hand on the throw-up. Allen went in, gathered, was immediately tackled. Ball didn't move an inch there, so we're going to have another ball up on 50 for the Bays. And I reckon that breeze has got a bit on it. Just looking at the flags out there, I reckon it's probably at least a 2-goal breeze.
I tend to agree with you. It's a bit fluky though, isn't it? 1 minute's getting that flag really going, and other minutes it's very still.
Absolutely. One thing the Bays showed is that you can score into it. They kicked 4 goals into it, and again the ball didn't move an inch. And again, we're going to have a ball. There's probably, I reckon, at least 15 players around this contest. Very crowded. Reasonably open Bay forward line, though, if they can get it away. Here's Ty Allen. Tried to handball into a bit of space. Well done, though, by the Bays. Looked like Carey got a handball back. Tackled was Barber. He almost dropped that footy. Umpire called play on. Bailey got a handball back. He was tackled by McConnell. Ball spilled loose. Kane's in there trying to get it out right on the Bay goal square, or about 15 metres out around from goal.
Free kick.
And there's a free kick paid. I didn't see what it was for.
Over the shoulder.
And it's going to go the way of the Bays, Daryl. So, didn't see what that one was for. Who's it going to go to? Could be... I don't even think the players know at the moment.
No,
here we go, Kane.
Kane's got it, yep. So Kane with the ball. He will go for a shot on goal, and that is Ben Kane, the vice-captain. will kick from around about 25 metres out, virtually directly in front, kicking to the school end. He too just guides the ball through, but this one goes through the middle, and he has got his first, and the Tigers have got their fifth. They go to 5 goals, 5-35. They lead West Adelaide 2-2-14. That's on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard. And through the station-sponsored Sports Power interchange gates, we have a player coming on for the Tigers, and that player there is Ty Allen, and coming off is Adlington.
Just noticing Ben Kane there with the white boots. Ty Allen comes on in the blue boots. Daryl, did we have all these coloured boots back in your days, or just a standard black Adidas?
No, we had blue boots. Stuart were the first ones to introduce blue boots back in 1978, and I was fortunate enough to wear them, and then all the rest of the times it was the black ones.
So not like young Kyle Reimers at Essendon with the orange boots. No. Looks like you're wearing carrots, but that's another story. Cranston over Moran. Cranston just wins the tap. It's a bit of a stoppage now. Piacente tries to farm it out by hand to Izard. Wrapped up in the tackle there is Fisher. Going to have a throw up.
Can tell you my two sons, who are 6 and 8, are both wearing white boots. So that's got to be a pretty game to be wearing white boots, I tell them.
They're almost commonplace these days. It's almost different if you wear black ones.
Now, that'll catch some votes in the Foss Camden under-9s.
No, yeah. Particularly when their dad's the coach.
Got a flood rule here. Cranston coming off and Hinge going on.
And that's through the station-sponsored Sports Power interchange gates. Of course, great supporters of RPH football are Sports Power.
Now, this is 5 minutes where West Adelaide can get a little bit of an advantage because Cranston's so effective at the taps. Now it throws Seller into the ruck. Could be a chance for West Adelaide to exploit that.
Going down to the rooms as well to get that stitched up, I reckon, Cranston.
Yeah, he'll be off for about 10 minutes, you'd say, with that. So this is a chance. Izard looks to pounce on it. Piacente pushes it forward. Caruso bumped in the tackle. Comes out there a little bit hot for Rowe. Willits twisting, turning. Has a flying shot at the goals. Just drifts through for a behind. That's been the story of Willits' year so far. 5-5-35 Glenelg. West Adelaide 2-3-15.
Bays have wasted no time and bring it into Seller. Put himself under pressure. The kick's ordinary. That's a station. Very ordinary. And Caruso's gone over the top. Willits will let it go through for a goal. Willits could have marked it, but he let it go through for a goal to Caruso, and that's his first of the afternoon. And West Adelaide get a bit of a bonus goal. They're 3-21, and the Bays are 5-5-35. We've got a station sponsor for that one.
We certainly have a station sponsor. Smithfield Crash Clanger kicking it into Caruso. He had two players on the other side of him, and the kick just didn't travel far enough, and Caruso just went back and nonchalantly kicked it through for his first and West Adelaide's third. So good start by West Adelaide in this quarter. They're edging their way back, and the Grand Central time clock says we played 7 minutes of this second quarter.
So they've kicked 3 of the last 4 of the Bloods, and if they could sort of keep the margin around where it is at 14 points at half-time, they'd be in the contest. Seller went up, won it down to Allen with the blue boots. Handball was good. Coming through was looked like Adlington to Fisher. Fisher's kick forward. McConnell will fly here, though well done by Kerr getting across. Took a good mark. Back to Cubido on half-back. They love giving it to him. He went to Barber, in fact it's Bailey, runs it back to fullback and then kicks beautifully. Moran took it on half-back out of side, along the wing. The kick put Davenport under a bit of pressure, but in fact Panozzo couldn't get there to effect a spoil. And Davenport, who is a speedster, would like to get the ball in his hands in the open. This time he's going back over the mark. And Bailey's got it backward to centre, still on the outer side. Stephen Bailey gets a lot of the footy. Kicks very short this occasion, and Davenport again, he's handballed back to Bailey. Worked that pretty well. Bailey can bomb it in forward. Nothing scientific about that one. Willits will fly. Good spoil by the Bays on that occasion. Fisher dived in. Good tap on by the Bays, although it came out in the direction of Davenport. He shows a bit of that speed I was talking about. He's kicked a goal for the West Adelaide side, and they are back in this contest. Make no bars about that. They're 4-3-27. And the Glenelg side of 5-5-35, margin reduced to 8 points on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard.
Yeah, it's great play. All started down here in defence with Cupido changing the ball over, giving it to Bailey. Bailey had a magnificent kick, a station-sponsored PDK highlight, that kick to Moran, and they just ran the ball down the outer side of the ground, kicked it in long, put some pressure on, it rebounded to Davenport, who kicked truly for his first. That's far better play by West Adelaide, getting it in long, putting the pressure on the Tigers, rather than all this short kicking in the defence. Get it in long, get into a one-on-one competition is what they need to do.
Bailey came to West Adelaide under a fair degree of criticism for his style of play. Nor I reckon he's become a much better footballer here at Westies. Allen wins the centre clearance. The Tigers through Kane. Now goes up to McConnell. His opponent slipped over at the wrong time. McConnell looks to go over the top by hand. It's smothered. He gets it back. Switches up towards the hot spot. Looking for a mark here, but it's a strong one. Almost taken there by Ferguson. Davenport going in again. They're looking for a ball up. Nothing doing. Izard trying to farm it out. Kane of the Chris variety now punches out. West Adelaide have got time to recover. They're going to switch out on the outer side. Looking further afield, Plant, Cupido. Cupido switched it out of the grandstand
great
wing.
kick.
It's almost a very good kick. It was just a little bit hot for Chris Schmidt. He goes back in, he was hurled. It's going to be a free to the Tigers and all of that. Holding free called for Mayer. He's just been a little bit quieter this quarter after starting out with 9 disposals, as Darryl said in the first. Looking for McConnell. Uses his strength. Chris Kane pumps it over towards the top in the direction of Kirkby. He just wraps up the West Adelaide opponent in a tackle. It's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, in the back there, Chris running to the ground.
So relieving is Davies, the first Bronick to play SANFL. I imagine he'd be the last. Now he switches over the top. They've got a bit of time and space out here, West Adelaide, looking to pump it out towards Davenport. Holmes drops in to fill the space for the Tigers. It's still not completely over here for them. Yes, it is now.
Free kick to Holmes.
So free kick to Holmes at half-back. It's on the outer side of Glenelg Oval, leading by 8 points the Tigers. West Adelaide coming hard at them. Switching back, Lockie Button takes him in the back half for Glenelg. Oh, this is fraught with danger. Good punch. Caruso unloads from 50. Has a long shot straight through the centre. That is Caruso's second for the term, and they're back in town, the Bloods. 5-3-33, Glenelg 5-5-35. We've ticked over towards 11 minutes second term.
Yeah, great play by Caruso again. That's what we talk about, going in long and putting pressure on, and that's exactly what they've done. Cancelli Richmond 5-6 trailing Melbourne 9-7. Didn't quite get the North Melbourne Essendon score, but we'll get that to you as soon as we can. But coming on through the station sponsor Sports Power interchange gates there was the Glenelg play in O'Grady coming back, and he went straight into the middle field and has spoken straight to Seller, so there must be some set play coming on here.
So second goal to Fort Caruso, and he looks a player, and he's got a lot of pace over from the VFL. A couple of good players coming to this side from Victoria. The Davenport's the other one. As the ball goes up, Seller, Moran beat him for it, tapped it backwards. Bronick Davies got a kick forward, although it didn't go very far, and Panozzo was able to mark it pretty easily, just backward to centre. His kick's pretty good as well. Ruiwalt marked it and played on, ran to about 2 kicks from goal, and then kicked short, but getting across easily was Fisher. Ben went back by hand for Kerr. Good composure back there on that occasion by the Bloods. Izard's now got the ball at half back. The kick's a wobbler, put Moran under the pump. Great tap on though by Bronick to Moran to Bronick Davey. So he kicks short, well done by Ferguson. He tried to work his player off it. Getting back was Button. Now Mules, Adlington and Baser away off half back. Good kick as well. Duldig on the wing, got a bit of time to mark that one. Farrier stood the mark and forced him to go back. His kick was good for Lucas Block, 60 out from goal. He marked and played on, went for a leading McConnell. Kick was over his head. And in the end it spilled off hands out of Hinge, and he was smothered well done by Barber on that occasion.
Free kick to Hinge.
Gee.
Oh no, throw in.
No, it was a throw in. So good smother by the Bloods, and they're forced to throw in right deep in the Bay attack.
North Melbourne 9-7 leading Essendon 5-10. 3/4 time.
So they throw in right onto the Glenelg scoreboard, which shows the home team leading by 2 points. West Adelaide really challenging this quarter. Schmidt, good work in heavy traffic. Now they're coming out from Moran, Cupido. Got a fair bit of time and space. He's kicked it to a 2-on-1. The advantages with the Tigers, but it just beats West Adelaide over the boundary line.
Actually, Cupido showed good footy smarts there, because he saw it was a 2-on-1 competition, and the player for West Adelaide was in a bit of trouble, and that player there was Beach, and they actually kicked it out in front of Beach, so he can actually just push the ball towards the boundary line.
Yeah, Jonathan Beach, very promising under 18. He's had good form in the reserves this year. Good work in heavy traffic. Izard, taken a little bit high by Allen. Could have almost been a free. Umpire disagrees. Put the ball up right in front of the Glenelg grandstand here. The home fans getting a little bit restless, boys. Moran. Going to be a free.
Good ruck work by Moran, and it's a free kick to Bailey, I think you will find.
And it was funny, boys, we touched on this before about 10 minutes ago when Cranston went off. We said that could be a bit of an advantage, and it has handed the advantage back now because Casella is getting beaten in the ruck by Moran. Caruso puts the skates on, pumps it up towards half forward. This should be an easier mark taken by Block. West Adelaide had other ideas. Now it comes further afield. Going out to Langford. Willets hoofs it deep into the forward line. He's got a teammate waiting all by himself. Taking it on the chest is Ryan Anderson. About 40 metres around. Goes to wheel onto the right boot. That's an ordinary kick. Just sneaks in for a behind.
Yeah, station sponsor Smithfield crash clanger there, Chris. He should have actually put it to the top of the square because he had the tall targets up there and chose to have a shot. Yeah, poor decision making there by Anderson in that case.
You could see he was straining there for distance, Anderson, and he hooked the kick in doing so for a behind, but they're right back in it. They're within a point in the Bloods. Mules has got the footy. Good safe kick in for Ruiwalt, who dropped the mark, put himself under pressure, had time to Panozzo, back to Mules. Amble missed him. got the ball wide by hand to hinge or the boundary line. Boundary line will do at the moment for the Bloods.
There was good pressure there
Bays, rather.
Yeah, good pressure there by Anderson to go hard at the body there, force the error, and force it out of bounds, and the throw-in's taking place now.
So Willits will do better with Button. Button reached over the top. Well done by Block, got a kick forward. Kerr did well, half volley was brilliant. The kick was dangerous to the hot spot. Mules judged it well. And they need some sure hands back there at the moment in the Bays because they're under pressure. Surprisingly more goals being kicked to the northern end of the Bay Oval at the moment because we reckon the breeze is going to the other end. Could swing around later in the day with the sea breeze as well. As Panozzo's got the footy in defensive 50, goes short for Mules, who ran forward. Back edge of the centre square, Mules. To Panozzo again. Short kick looked for Block. He had to dive and took a beauty.
Yeah, that's a station sponsor, Petty. Go highlight that, Mark.
Willoughby Mayer will bomb this forward. Sellers there, if he can fly, he does. Couldn't take the mark. Well done by Seller, had to back up. Hand kick on the boot by Holmes is a good one, is it? No, just wide by Holmes. Through for a behind to the Bays. That gives them a lead of 2 points, 5-6 to 5-4 in the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard.
And row on and ease that off through the station-sponsored Sports Power interchange gates.
Gee, that's only Glenelg's second score for the quarter too, so West Adelaide applying plenty of pressure at both ends of the ground. Nice mark, taken out there by Schmidt. Wheels onto the right boot. Spotted a teammate in plenty of space. That's Beach. Switches over to Davenport. Now he's going long into attack. Good mark taken by Braden Fisher. Haven't called him too many times today. Of course, came back from amateur football. Braden Fisher goes long. Lurking at the back there is Ferguson! Ryan Ferguson just nudged his opponent out at the right time, and he's going to have a shot from the edge of the goal square on a slight angle, but Darrell should slot this home and give the Bloods the lead.
Yeah, unbelievable, isn't it? We wouldn't have thought that half an hour ago, but Ferguson now lining up for what will be his second goal. Comes in now, the kick is on its way, and he's kicked through the ball and kicks his second goal. So all of a sudden, West Adelaide are in front. They go to 6 goals for 40. They lead Glenelg 5-6-36. That's on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard. And again, guys, we see that they've changed their game plan a little bit. They're actually getting it into the one-on-one competition there with Ferguson up against his opponent. The ball came over the back and he was able to take the good, strong mark. Station-sponsored PDK highlight that play.
I reckon they're a bit stunned just at the moment on Snouts Hill. Probably didn't see this coming when they were 4 goals up into the breeze in the first quarter. At the moment,
I don't know about
West
stunned,
Adelaide leading by a goal.
There, I'll tell you. That's what they tend to do. They'll be stunned a little bit later on.
Probably happy enough at the moment while they're having a beer. But at the moment, West Adelaide leading. Cranston's hit down. Blood plague went over his head. Well done by Allen. Handballed it back. Kane's kick was creative and quite brilliant, although dropping the mark was O'Grady. Well done, Hinge. But a handball to Ruiwa to go short for McConnell. He'll mark this. No, he won't. The Sellers chipped it in front of him. And there's a whistle as well, and it's going to be a free kick, is it?
No, paid the mark.
He's paid the mark, and James Seller will be hard up against the boundary in front of the Snouts Hill boys, Darryl.
Well, they'd love him to kick this goal, won't they, Seller? So he's already kicked one. He's around about, he'll kick from around about 45 metres out, deep virtually on the boundary line here at the Glenelg Stadium. He's kicking at the primary school end here. So in he comes in now. The kick is on its way. The goal umpire is moving too far to the left, and that's a minor score on the board. So that's their 7th behind. 5 goals, 7-37. They trail West Adelaide by 3 points, 6-4-40. That's on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard.
You almost wonder if Seller would have been better off shepherding to allow McConnell through, because we know that is a good option, McConnell, that pocket. Had plenty of success there in the past. So West Adelaide player held without the ball there was Langford. Now they're coming further back of field. Fisher, keeping it on the outer side. Good, strong mark taken out there by Davenport again. Gee, he has been very dangerous today. Now switches back in. Caruso, another player who's coming through the second term. Cupido running through the centre of Glenelg Stadium. Unloads from 65. Oh, don't tell me no. It's just the wrong side of the post.
That was the right option, though, for him, because Cupido was running out of half-back, and he's on Johnny Hinge, and Hinge is 50 metres behind him.
But a kick like a mule, doesn't he, Cupido? That travelled 70 metres, but it was offline. Panozzo's marked in the back pocket to Holmes. Still inside defensive 50.
She's not on Johnny Hinge. He is on Mayer. So, no Seller now.
That kick's a good one from Holmes. I reckon that's Mules. Back side of the centre square went to Kane, but the kick was chopped off well by Willits. And pressure by the Bloods is really good at the moment. Willits right in the centre of Glenelg Stadium. Player down there against 3 was Davies. Brought on by Lee, but the handball's been turned over. Ferguson should kick this. He does! And West Adelaide have kicked the last 4 goals of the contest. Ferguson's got 3, and the Bloods have 7. 7-5, 47. Glenelg 5-7, 37. 10-point lead all of a sudden to the Bloods.
Again, it was because West Adelaide got it in quick and long. There was a 3-on-1 competition for West Adelaide, and the player there did very well. He brought the ball forward, and Ferguson was there to pick the ball up and snap truly. Fantastic bit of play. Great station highlight, PDK highlight.
Bronick Davies was the player who's a small player.
Yep.
He did beautifully against 4 opponents.
Yeah, 3-on-1 that went to the air. He actually brought the ball down, and Ferguson was able to pick up and snap truly for his third.
Gee, it's almost as if Andy Collins tore up the game plan at quarter time, and he's directed them to kick long, and it's paying real dividends.
He'd keep it simple.
5-4 this quarter to 1-2 for the Tigers, and they look a bit shell-shocked at the moment. We said pre-game, Darryl, at some stage Westies look a big chance.
Yep.
Ball's back in the centre, just trying to win the clearance away is Allen. Farms it out, he's looking for a player, gets Ben Kane, he's wrapped up in a herd of Bloods.
See, all of a sudden there's 3 West Adelaide players to 1 Glenelg player, and the Glenelg players actually won the free kick. Can you believe that?
Going to be a free kick to Ben Kane. It's got a player breaking for him on the grandstand side in Panozzo, but he elects to go back out towards Button. Spearing pass, he's cocked it straight up to Chris Schmidt. Now he pops it over the top towards Davenport. How many possessions has he had in this half, boys? Davenport, he's going back in, trying to get another one. He was surely being held there. It's going to be a free. So Davenport having a major influence on the contest.
As we see Seller coming off, and coming on is Kirkby, and that's through the station sponsor Sports Power interchange gates, and I think that was because it Seller allowed Cubo to run free down and have that shot at goal.
Davenport takes on Holmes, unloads from 50, kick on play, and he has slotted it! Oh, that's Gary Ablett stuff from Saturday night. Jason Davenport puts through his second for the day. West Adelaide are out to a 16-point lead, 8-5, 53. Glenelg 5-7, 37, ticking over to 27 minutes into the term.
Yeah, that's a station sponsor, Petty. Go high that goal. You dream about those sort of goals. He took them on, ran with it, used his speed, and it was a magnificent goal from that outer side of the ground, right on the pocket, and plenty of interchanges coming on, and Moran comes on for West Adelaide. So does the player there in Anderson, and Izard waiting to come on as well. So plenty of interchanges taking place through the station sponsor Sports Power interchange gates.
So ball is back in the centre. Jason Davenport, what a half a footy he's played. Up it goes, Moran won it down. Fort Caruso's got it, went backwards by hand, but that was okay. Player on the end of it will be Care. He'll turn and twist. He'll go wide to Moran on the wing. Working hard, the big fella. Good handball as well, Anderson. Player on in the centre is Bronick Davies. In fact, it's Rowe who marks and kicks long. Good kick. Willits has every chance, although the ball was just over his head. Did Button get in his back? He didn't. Play on, and gee whiz. That was, I reckon,
that was Davies.
Davies again. He must be working hard, Davies. He covered a lot of territory. And in the end, the kick in from the Bays has gone to Mayer. Just on Davenport, guys. Best and fairest at Geelong in the VFL last year. Despite that, he was delisted by the AFL Cats. Redrafted by the Crows, and here he is at West Adelaide.
So switches it on the outer side. Oh, it's going to be a free.
No, they're redrafted by Port Adelaide.
That's right. So it's going to be a free to the Tigers in the back half. They need a spark from somewhere, Glenelg, but they probably specifically need Trevor Cranston back out there. Very much. O'Grady on the outer side. It's going to be punched over. So just waiting to bring the ball back into play. And on cue, Cranston's just appeared out there now with Moran. Working his way to the front, Cranston. Moran gets the tap down to Izard. A little bit of a fumble. Now he farms it out, looking to get the ball away. Bailey switches it over. Fisher. Now they're going further by Langford, over the top. Looking to go deep into attack again. Now the Bloods having a long shot from the 50. West Adelaide player could have been held possibly. Trying to take the mark at the back here. Lead player is
Kirkby, I reckon, going back.
Yeah, Kirkby going down back. So that was a critical turnover there. If West Adelaide had got a goal out of that. Looking out for Chris Kane. That sets him a big task. He's just about up to it. No, umpire having none of that. Goes back in, tries to farm the ball out.
That's holding ball.
It's surely got to be holding the ball. Yeah, he's twisted and turned back into it. Izard has a shot from 50, spots a vacant, goal square, and puts it through. Oh, that's James Izard's first for the day. Tell you what, boys, they are out to a 23-point lead, if you don't mind the Bloods. 9-6-60, Glenelg 5-7-37. Daryl Smith, Glenelg look shell-shocked.
They do, and the way West Adelaide are playing, again, they're just taking their opportunities, aren't they? 3 players on the one down here. They turned the ball over Glenelg. Izard got it. Wasn't the prettiest kick going through the goal, but the desired result was there for them. And can you believe it? They were 28 points down in the first quarter. Now, all of a sudden, they are 23 points up. It's a magnificent quarter of football by West Adelaide, and we seem to think they've actually changed their game plan. They're actually going along with the breeze, which is great to see, and this is the second time the umpire has had to recall the bounce, so one would suggest that maybe at half-time the umpire's coach will talk to him and say, in the future, just throw it up.
Since the 19-minute mark of the first quarter, it's been 9-5 to West Adelaide and 1-2 to Glenelg.
I see it, Daryl, but I don't believe it at the moment. It's an unbelievable. As under pressure, Cranston in the centre couldn't get a handball away. Blood's pressure's magnificent at the moment. Davies dived in. Fort Caruso laid as Shepherd, but the ball didn't go anywhere out of all that, and it's just gone about 10 metres forward of the centre circle for the Bloods.
It's got to the stage where actually Glenelg now have got Johnny Hinge loose in defence to stop this from happening.
Yeah, Mark Mickin just trying to stem the bleeding. 7-goal quarter to Westies. Umpire almost went down. Moran got a hit down. He's played a great quarter. Best big man on the ground for mine. Cranston dived in. Izard trying to work the ball away. A lot of players around it. Eventually it came out. Fisher, in fact, it looked like it could be Adlington who kicked it forward. Siller needs to mark this. Good grab as well. Good strong hands by James Siller. Outside kicking range, 55 out. He'll lob it to McConnell. Can he get to this one? He does. Good mark. Low down Justin McConnell. And this is a kick he needs to nail, Daryl.
He certainly does. They've only managed in this quarter so far 1 goal, 2. And McConnell, as we know, is a fantastic skills by McConnell, and he's deep in front of the Snouts Louts Hill, and he's going to kick from around about 40 metres out. So in he comes now. McConnell comes in, the kick's on its way, and it's a station sponsor, Smithfield Crash Clan, because again, he just tried to jab at it and not kick through the ball. So behind on the board for Glenelg, they go to 5 goals, 8-38. They trail by 22 points. West Adelaide 9-6-60. That's on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard.
So Barber brings it back into play. A bit of a hairy possession, but it's going to end up with Cupido. Just on the scoreboard side of the ground. Got a player moving out there for him in Fisher. Now they're kicking long and long and high. That's surely in the backside.
Silly play. That's just undisciplined, and station sponsor Smithfield Crash Clanger for that. He's turned the ball over.
Yeah, very silly play on Adlington. It's a free. Now they're slipping back into Mules. Haven't called Mules too many times this game. Been a bit busier in the second term. Hinge, as Kim mentioned, playing loose in defence. Oh, he's got a turnover in the centre of... Oh, it's going to be a free to the Tigers. Interesting decision. Ben Kane.
Interesting is one way to describe it, Chris.
I'm being diplomatic. Now he switches up towards half forward. Oh, that was a courageous mark taken there from Chris Kane. He's going to be probably just outside his range, I would suspect, particularly with Barber on the mark. Chris Kane's going to be lining up from 50, and there's the silence, and he'll be kicking after the silence to try and bring the margin back to 16 points, Daryl.
Yeah, well, so we'll see what happens. Kane.
Big kick, isn't it?
It is a big kick in the contents of the game. So, will the momentum be going with the Tigers, or will it stay with West Adelaide? He comes in from just outside 50. Kick is on its way now. So I'm not going to make the distance, and he's got underneath it, and he's actually hasn't even made the distance. So the scoreline at half-time sees West Adelaide 9-6-60, a fantastic quarter of football. They have kicked in that quarter 7 goals, 5 to the Glenelg side, who are on 5 goals. They can manage just 1 goal, 3. So it's continue to back each other up and continually go along, and that's what they didn't do in the first quarter, and they turned it around in the second quarter to do that. So great to see, and I also like to see Cupido come through the midfield a bit more too with his long running and long kicking style, and because when he was on Sella didn't actually chase him up. So if West Adelaide can use him as that running player through that midfield, he could be very, very, very valuable for West Adelaide.
West Adelaide kick into the breeze. I reckon, Daryl, 22 points up now. The aim would be to turn in front. And probably by a couple of goals, because they'll be hard to catch from there. So ball held off by the umpire to get things underway in the third quarter. Glider Roll Stadium. West Adelaide leading this one by 22 points on the back of a 7-goal second quarter. Cranston won the hit down uncontested. Willoughby couldn't grab it. Eventually he did. Good handball to Fisher, who kicked the ball forward. Leading out there could be, looked like couldn't pick up the play. In fact, it was O'Grady, but didn't matter because Schmidt gathered for the Bloods. Went to Cupido under pressure in the back pocket, and he's conceded quite deliberately. In fact, kicked a goal, I reckon, but for the Bay side, so it'll be a point to them.
That's a bit of an oxymoron. You just sit there, kick the goal for the base side, but it's a point.
It is indeed an oxymoron, and Barber will take the kick in.
So Barber keeping on the outer side, and that's where West Adelaide have tended to put their kick-ins. Interesting tackling, good strong mark taken at the front there by Kerr. He's been impressive today.
He has been. That's a station sponsor, PDK, highlight that mark.
One of the smaller men out there, pops it over the top, isolates Ferguson, keeping it again on the outer side. No, just slipping into a little bit of space. That was Rowe. Now they're going over the top. They've got players streaming through the centre. Fort Caruso just beats him to the punch. Piacente twisting, turning, gets the handball over the top. You think they're going to slam this one straight home, and they do. Jonathan Beach gets his first, margin out of 27 points. 10-6-66 Glenelg, 5-9-39. They had plenty of opportunity to put pressure on Piacente, Darryl, and the Glenelg players just stood off him.
Well, they didn't actually tackle him, did they? They let him break through the tackle, and the handball to Beach was fantastic. And Beach, under pressure too, was able to slot his first goal and give us the Battle of Hastings 10-6-66. That is West Adelaide leading Glenelg 5-9-39. That's on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard, and that's exactly what West Adelaide wanted. They wanted to score the first goal in this premiership quarter, the third quarter, to give themselves a bit of a break. They're now 27 points in front.
Beach's first goal in league footy.
Bay's got it all before them now. 27 points down. They've got the breeze. Well done, Moran, won it down. Cranston's second effort was great. He was tackled, got a handball to Allen. Can he pick it up? He can. Went wide by hand. Pinozzo off half-back along the wing. Went to Ben Cone, who can run and bounce. Can take a second bounce, but he wants to run to 55 and kick long on goal. Big fly from O'Grady. Couldn't take the mark. Well done by Barber in front. Ball still in dispute. O'Grady, was he tackled high? Umpire said no. Right in the goal square.
So you would have thought West Adelaide would have tried to punch the ball through there for a behind and get possession, but instead they actually punched it out, which is very surprising.
So ball still alive for the Bays. Kirkby tapped it back into play. Holmes was there. Good tackle laid by him on Bronick Davies. And ball still in a dangerous spot for the Bays. And probably 15 metres around from goal. Trailing, would you believe, by 27 points. Up it goes. Moran got a hit down. Well done by a Bay player who was tackled. Good turnover here from Westies. Well done by Rowe. Got the hammer on the 1-2. Then he's thumbled and he's gone, I reckon. Yep, he's gone at 45 out, and there'll be a free kick to Rewalt, who should make the distance.
He should, with the breeze at his back. So Rewalt put some pressure back on the West Adelaide side. Poor old Rowe, who's actually running out and had the ball tapped out of him and fell over, and then was tackled, and of course that's holding the ball. So Rewalt now he'll kick from outside 50, kicking to the Jetty Road end here of Glenelg Stadium. And to say that Glenelg need this goal is an understatement. They trail by 27 points. West Adelaide certainly are playing the better football, of course. And the Rewalt comes in, the old Jimmy LaHoo number. 17 comes in, kicked from outside 50 and hooks it, and has kicked it hooked it that much. That's a station sponsor, Smithfield Crash Clanger, because it's gone out of bounds on the full, and West Adelaide will bring the ball back in through the services of the player there in Farrier.
So Farrier looking to hoof it back into play. Their disposal by foot in this last 30 minutes or so, Glenelg, has been way below their normal standard, indicative of the pressure you'd say that West are putting on. Mark almost taken on the front by Izade. He was pulled out of the contest, surely. Umpire agrees.
It was a great effort by Izade, because he was up against some taller opponents and got himself across the front of the pack, and probably would have held the mark if he wasn't dragged off the ball.
It's gutsy stuff, wasn't it, the way he flew across there?
Only 5'11" in the old scale, Izade. He's been really good for them since being delisted by Port. Could have taken the easy option and gone back to Melbourne, but decided to stay. Cranston wins the contested ball almost. It just slips away from Anderson. He tries to keep it in. He's going to dribbles over the... dribbles over the boundary line. So they're going to have a throw-in 60 metres around from the Glenelg goal, not far from the Snouts layout.
But just on that though, guys, there was two Glenelg players, and Anderson just wanted it more. He just worked to the front, used his pace, and just pushed the ball along the boundary line. He just showed more heart than the two Glenelg players.
Yeah, again, it comes down to that respect issue. Glenelg looks like they weren't expecting this sort of pressure. They've got a long mount to climb if they're going to breach the gap. Cranston wins the tap down. Moran on hands and knees, looking to scoop it out to a teammate. Allen hailing the cab, and we're going to have a throw-up. 55 metres around from the Westies goal. Currently leading by 27 points. 5 minutes gone. Third term here, 11:97 a.m. RPH football. Cranston is pushing Moran out of the contest, and it's going to be a free. The Glenelg fans don't like it, but it was there every day of the week. And Moran just waiting for something to open in the 50. Ferguson presents.
Well, he's just got to get up there. He's got to get up there in the goal square. One-on-one competition.
Yep. He does it.
Unloads, puts it up at the hot spot. Willett's possibly being held at the back. Caruso looking for the crumbs, gets it out behind. Willoughby taken high, surely in the contest. It's going to be a free on the last line of defence. Josh Willoughby to bring it out of defence for Glenelg.
So they got one high. That thrust from West, if they'd scored there, you almost start to be talking an insurmountable margin. Good kick. Good mark by Hinge on the wing. Went quickly to Kane. He sold him into trouble. That's Chris Kane. He's gone, I reckon. No, umpire held to him.
Yeah, no prior opportunity there. Fair call by the umpire there. The West Adelaide supporters wanted holding the ball, but he didn't have any prior opportunity.
Tackle was probably too good by Schmidt on that occasion. Just pinned it to him. Well done by Cranston. Big hit down. Bailey read it well. His handball was directed quite deliberately, I would have thought, to the boundary, although Rowe was there. Maybe why he was let off.
He got slung in the tackle there. That's why it went in. He was actually looking for Rowe.
So Amin Shahadi, the AFL boundary umpire, will throw this one in. Right in front of our commentary position on the wing. Well done, Cranston. Worked at the front. Allen can track this one. Running away from his goal. Got a handball to Fisher. Good handball. Backwards to Hinge. Stepped inside Rowe. Kick was up and under, and it's out in the full, I reckon. Judging by the tears of the Bloodhounds, it is. And they're quite buoyant at the moment, those Westie supporters down there, and they're half back line for their side.
Station sponsors Grand Central Time Clock says we played 6 minutes of this third quarter.
27-point lead to the Bloods. Bailey plays on. Willoughby's pressure was good. Bailey did all right though. Got a good kick to half forward. Ferguson will fly. Good spoil by Hinge. And he's fisted that one over the boundary line.
Just a quick update. Melbourne 12-10, still leading Richmond, but Richmond coming back. They're 9-6.
Ooh.
Sorry, Wallace would be happy if that happened, I think. Now it's a free kick off the ball.
Well off the ball.
Been paid against Ruwald by the looks of things. Very undisciplined. Comes back to Fisher. Going in towards it, Cupido. He's in the centre of Glenelg. He'd almost have a shot, you'd think, from there. No, it's a turnover.
Yeah, poor kick by Cupido. Should have gone along to the goal square. Kicked a powerful kick.
Straight to Holmes, who puts it out in front of O'Grady. He's had some nice moves in his opening game. Switches over the top to Mules, playing a long way up the ground. Puts it out there for Doldig. Takes it on the chest. 50 metres out. This is probably just inside his range, Gerald Smith.
He certainly is, but he's got players at the true centre-half forward position. He's got, but he's going to go back. Now he's got to go back because Westall have got the numbers back there. Now he's taken too long.
Needs to keep it going out, doesn't he?
He does, yep. So kicking to the Jetty Road end here of Glider Stadium. Doldig comes in from right on 50. It's a real finger breaker, but it's got the carry now. It has got the carry, but no one could take the mark. And the player there from Glenelg, all on his own, dropped what he should have taken. That was Seller.
The ball right in the goal square for the Bays. They need a goal. Haven't kicked one since early in the second quarter. Ball thrown up. Well done, Moran. Brilliantly done to Bailey. Bloods will get out of trouble here if they can be composed. They are. Bronick Davies on half back. The kick's a shocker. He got it out of defensive 50, but Allen cut that off easily. 70 out from goal. Good kick in board. This is Liebelt. Good sell of a dummy. Got around Bronick Davies and kicked long. The kick was off target though. It's going to go wide to the pocket.
Good
fly from O'Grady.
Good defensive work. I actually might have said that was Seller before, that dropped the mark. It was actually Kirkby that dropped the mark. Should have taken that.
So Barber's got the footy. He'll bring it back in. Go to the outer side pocket. Put the ball in the hands of Damien Cupido, who goes short to Bronick Davies.
They're playing this well, West Adelaide.
They've got the only goal of the third quarter into the breeze, and they've eaten up close to 10 minutes of the clock. That's the Grand Central Station sponsored time clock. It's Bronick Davies in no rush, and he'll go backwards and wide to a teammate right in the back pocket. I reckon that could be Piasanti way down there in the back pocket, or maybe Anderson.
No, it is
Piasanti. Very short kick as well, and they're just eating up the clock here. The Bloods quite deliberately. Davies has got it back. Go to Cupido. Gee, showed a bit of it to Chris Kane, but Cupido went back and marked it. Went to Davenport, he went to Bailey, he missed him by hand. Bailey will look for the boundary line. Well done by Ruwald to keep it alive. Then he was tackled. And ball still alive. Dudley tried to go in. Well done, Ty Allen. Went straight at the footy. Good tackle on him though. Got a handball off to Chris Kane. Can he break away and kick a goal here, Chris Kane? He kicks on the left. It's going to go up short into the arms of a teammate. And that looks like it could be Holmes, and he needs to go back and nail this.
Well, he does, but poor skills again by the West Adelaide players. They turned the ball over. It was a 3-on-1 competition, and great play by the Glenelg player to keep the ball in the area. Holmes has ended up with it, and he comes in now from 15 metres out, about a 60-degree angle, kicks truly for his first, and Glenelg have got some hope now because he's kicked a goal. They now go to 6 goals, 10-46. They trail by 20 points. West Adelaide on that Battle of Hastings score 10-6-66. and we see West Adelaide made an interchange, and the player coming on was Big Fisher, so he's gone straight to the forward area.
Moran off.
And Moran off through the station-sponsored Sports Power interchange gate. So a tool coming off and going straight down to the goal square to put some pressure on the Glenelg defence.
And Willits into the ruck, guys.
Glenelg's first goal since the 5-minute mark of the second term there when Ben Kane slotted it home. Ball's back in the centre. Willits, Cranston. Bit of a nothing bounce for both players. Willits tries to get the hard ball get, comes out through Willoughby. Going over the top, it's going to land in the direction of Hinge. Bends off his teammate McConnell, playing a fair way up the ground. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Coughed it straight up to Willits. Must have forgotten that he changed clubs. Switches it up and towards Ferguson. Goes out. He's got Caruso slipping into space again. Does the man not have an opponent? It's going to sit for him. He's going to unload. Comes in from 35, 30, 25. Takes a bounce. Finish it. He doesn't. Wrong side of the post.
He put the check side on there, Chris. He should have actually just kicked the drop punt. And he put the check side on and missed to the near side, so a very, very costly miss. 10 goals, 767. They lead by 21 points, 6-10, 46 on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard.
So Mules has got it and take the kick in, good kick in as well. He got it to Panozzo. He just wonder, maybe thought Caruso ran 5 metres too far then. In the end, he was under pressure when he kicked. He did run to right up within 10 metres of goal. And Panozzo taking his time. One of the 200 gamers for the Bays. From half-back, he kicks along the outer side wing. Schmidt, the flyer. Good fist. Well done, McConnell to robe it. Immediately tackled. Ball spilled out of his arms, and then a couple of players dived on it. Cranston eventually kept it alive. Umpire let it go. Kane got a kick along the wing. Kirkby's there. So too Holmes. Ball went over the back. Blood should be first back on this one. Cupido's got it now at half-back. Opportunity to transfer play backwards to go to Farrier. Kick over his head. Could even go out of bounds here. Farrier will run onto it just inside the boundary line. Members side back pocket. Well done. Got it to Fisher Ben, who went by hand to Barber. Broke the O'Grady tackle. Then he couldn't break the Mules tackle. That's holding the footy. Well done, Benny Mules. Playing advantage of it. Nope. And come back to Mules, who's telling Barber all about that tackle. And he's got the ball 70 out. Went by hand to Mayer. He'll kick him deep into attack. Who's down there to take a mark? Dullig's there, but he couldn't take it. Good, strong fist by Willits.
Yeah, good
behind to the base.
Yeah, good defensive work again by Willits. He knew he was under a bit of pressure, and then just turned the ball and punched the ball through for a minor score. West Adelaide making the changes. Langford on, and the player coming off is the West Adelaide player there in Beach, and that's through the station-sponsored Sports Power interchange gates.
So Barber bringing it back into play, going on that outer side again. Now ends up with Fisher. Pops over the top. It's a little bit hot there for his teammate in Anderson. He's wrapped up in it. Goes over the boundary line. No, McConnell keeps it in. Gets the 1-2 back from Holmes. Looking to go long into the attacking zone. He's got a player by himself. Ruwold.
Yeah, why would Ruwold be there on his own? No opponent within 15 metres of him, guys.
We're seeing Westies delve to a lot of zoning, aren't we? And that means that there's players unopposed directly.
Exactly right. Ruwold was one of those, and he's marked now 40 metres out. Directly in front, so he's got to kick the goal now. Does Rewalt. Comes in now, the kick is on its way. He has kicked it through. He's got his second, and no, that's his first, sorry. Rewalt's got his first, and Glenelg have got their seventh. They go to 7 goals, 11-53. Coming back at West Adelaide, who are on 10-7-67. That's on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard, and the station-sponsored Grand Central time clock says we played 11 minutes of this 15 minutes of this third quarter.
And thanks to station-sponsored Sports Power, Rowe comes back on, straight into the guts for the West Adelaide side who will contest this ball up. Well, Willits will contest, he'll be on hinge. As Cranston will be the ruckman for the Bays. They've got 2 in a row. All 7 goals have been singular goal kickers.
Yeah, individual goal scorers.
Individuals. As Willits beaten by Cranston. Bays just getting a bit of momentum. Willoughby, was he tackled high? According to the umpire, he was. Probably slightly lucky when he went wide for Kane, who drifted off to the wing. Couldn't take the mark. He'll be under pressure when he picks up from Fort Caruso. Did he get in his back, Caruso?
Oh, gee whiz. That's a tough call, you know.
I agree. You could see why the umpire paid it, but probably wasn't there. In the end, Hinge has got a handball to Willoughby, but he's just getting some players on their own. Mules backward to centre. Wide for Panozzo. He's in space. He can handball to Mayer. Elected not to. Instead he goes back. 2 kicks from goal on the outer side. Went wide for a leading O'Grady. Good fist up there by the West Adelaide defender. Easily able to kill that ball. That was Barber. And they have a throw in 50 metres around from the Bay goal.
If Brad Moran's not injured, if I was Andy Collins, I'd be getting him back into the rut, because that's been a turning point now for Glenelg. Willet's going in there. They've been beaten at the last 3 knockouts, and right on cue, Willets gets one. Thanks for that, Ryan. Now it comes out the back, having a long shot. No, it's been smothered. Left off of Mayer. Trying to get it back in. Mayer again, pops it up towards the hot spot. They need a mark in here. Strong mark almost taken there by West Adelaide, but we've got a pack situation developing. No, it just comes out behind, and it's going to be a free kick.
Yeah, Cupido was legged, and he was coming out of the pack with the ball and was legged, so he's got the free kick deep in the last line of defence for West Adelaide.
So Cupido in the back pocket, just looking for something to spot up. Glenelg are dropping plenty of numbers on there now. Spots up a teammate in the back pocket. That's Fisher. Goes over the top to Piacenti. He's got time and space to move. It's going to have to be a pinpoint kick, and it is to Willets, just on the right side of the boundary. Hoisted into the centre of the Glenelg Stadium. Pops out the back. Greg Rowe over the top. Anderson takes a bounce. Has a second. Unloads from 50. Wrong side of the post. That's a critical miss for Westies. 10-8-68. Glenelg 7-11-53. 17 gone. Third term.
Yeah, station sponsor Smithfield crashed clang of that kick. He had an open goal and could have ran a lot closer to goal, but chose to kick from around about 40. And the Breeze took it over to the other side of the goal post for a minor score.
So James Seller holds the ball over his head in the kick-in, obviously a signal to his teammates. Went wide to the grandstand side. Moran was the fly back on the ground, couldn't take a mark. Ground level Willoughby ran into it and was evasive as he got the footy. Went back by hand, block. Chris Kane by hand received. Went for Kirkby, who worked his opponent under it brilliantly at 50. Kicks to the 50 where Duldig's there. Good mark.
Good strong mark, yep.
And he played on quickly because he's got McConnell on his own 35 metres out. He'll kick from probably 40 metres directly in front. He should nail this, Justin McConnell.
Yeah, he's a great kick, isn't he, McConnell? So 40 metres out directly in front. As we see Glenelg making a change, the player coming on is Button, and going off there is the player, I think that was Block. So McConnell comes in from 40 metres out. He has kicked it and tried to guide the ball, and it's gone through for a minor score, a point on the board. So the Tigers now go to 7 goals, 12, 54. More scoring shots than West Adelaide, 10-8 on 68, but West Adelaide in front on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard.
Cranston it was, guys, he came off.
The ball comes back in. Schmidt at the back, just gets a hand in it at the right time. Doldig tries to sell him some candy, keeps it in, pops it up. It's going to be a turnover though, straight onto the chest of Barber. I don't reckon Barber's had too much possession today, but he's played a good classical defender's game. Very much in the Pressa Giacomo mould.
He's been good, Chris.
He has been very good. In a good negating role. Pops it up. It's going to be a contest situation. Hinge at the back. Now it comes over the top at Lee-Belt. And it goes over the top to Kane of the Ben variety. He's got a player calling for it at centre-half back. Honours that, but it's a long way back. It's Seller. Switches over there. Allen, an absolute acre of space. That's Mules. Got plenty of time. And a journey of indecision. He's waiting for something to open. Wouldn't want to take too much longer. Pops up a teammate. That's Panozzo. Just out next to the huge tree on the Glenelg over wing. I don't know what I mean. Panozzo unloads. McConnell waiting for it. Punched away from him. Good work from Ferguson. Dropping back into defence after spending the first half up forward. We're going to have a throw-in.
Yeah, that was a great play by Ferguson. Melbourne 13-11, Richmond 9-7. It's at three-quarter time.
Terry Wallace wasn't banking on a goal watch at Richmond. Comes over the top. Caruso, gee, he's been good at the stoppages today. Bailey. Keeping it on the outer side wing. It's a turnover. Goes towards Button.
His nickname would be Benjamin, wouldn't it?
It would surely have to be. Switching in towards the centre, or he's got Mayer. Mayer's dropped out of the game after a busy first quarter. Switching over the top. They've got runners moving for them now. It's going to be Chris Kane. Goes over the top. Back to Mayer, who's held when not in possession. Surely, umpire agrees.
Silly play.
Very undisciplined play from Westies.
Made sure the umpire knew about it then, didn't he,
He certainly did.
So Mayer, too far out to score, 65 metres out. He's going to want to pop it to the hot spot. So West are going to have to drop plenty of numbers back. Mayer, I'll tell you what, he just about fancies himself here. He's going long. It's going to fall about 10 metres short. Oh, dropped there by Doldig. Going to have contested situation, just waiting to try and farm it out. Going Going to be a ball up, 25 metres out from the Glenelg goal.
I reckon that was dropped again by Kirkby. That's twice now he's dropped the mark. It's come over the back of the pack, and he's the only one that's actually gone for it. And
yeah, he just probably a bit unsighted, wasn't he, Kirkby? And the ball landed straight in his arms, and he put it down, and it would have been almost a lay down in your glasses kick for goal.
And we've got a blood rule coming on, and coming on for West Adelaide is Big Willits.
It could be Anderson, is it? No, or Davies?
Anderson. And that's through the station sponsor, Sports Power Interchange Gates. It is a 14-point ball game in favour of West Adelaide, 10-8-68. They lead Glenelg 7-12-54.
About to enter time on in the third. Moran did the ruck work, tapped it down brilliantly. Davies gathered, good handball wide. Teammate in a bit of space, looked like it could have been Kerr. The kick's a shocker. In fact, it was Schmidt whose kick just shanked off the side of the boot. And an AFL rookie listed player, you'd hope for better there from Schmidt.
You would have thought so, wouldn't you?
That was a shocker. In fact, we've got probably a sponsor
Station sponsor, Smithfield Crash Trainer, that kick.
So Allen, he'll take the kick, and in the Bays, if they get another probably couple before three-quarter time, they'd almost be on level pegging. They'll kick into the breeze in the last, though. Allen's kick to a hot spot. Big pack here, big fly from the blood player, couldn't bring it down. Cupido at ground level was tackled immediately. And it's held to him. We're going to have a ball up 25 metres around from the Bays goal.
Gee, Davenport's spent a fair bit of time on the pond. Looks like he's preparing to come on, but taking a little bit of drive out of the midfield by having him on the bench. Cupido, taken high in the pack, umpires on the wrong side. It's going to be a throw up.
A lot of players around that footy.
Yeah, it's a little bit like South Sydney versus Parramatta at the moment. That's playing into Westie's hands though. Moran, Goldig, wrapped up in it was Mules.
What Andy Collins will be hoping now, guys, is that Glenelg don't score another goal and they just hang on, because they've got a 14-point buffer, and going into the final quarter, the 14-point buffer would be very good for them.
Barber, taken by one arm, no chance to dispose. Going to be another ball up, just inching it back towards the West Adelaide goal. But if they go at this rate, we'll be here until December. Punches over the top. Kane, Hinge I should say, trying to farm it out towards Kane. Oh, West Glenelg player possibly taken high again. No, it's going to be another throw up. So, getting towards time on. Goldig just comes out the back. Ruwald dispossessed. He's calling for the free. Nothing doing. Blocks wrapped up in a tackle. Gee, Westie's tackling's been good today, boys.
It is. That's actually almost holding the ball, you know, because he's actually taken them on and trying to break through the tackles there and block.
Yeah, generally speaking, if they spin around twice and they aren't successful, it should be holding the ball. Moran. Now they're going to get the stoppage through Caruso. Rowe. Further afield, now it comes out towards Ferguson. They've got plenty of numbers streaming through the middle of Glenelg Stadium. He's talked himself into a little bit of trouble now, Westies. Davies goes in there to try and mop up. He's going to have a ball up here on the grandstand wing.
Yeah, the reason he got caught is because he had no one down in forward. There was three Glenelg players there who couldn't actually kick it down there.
They've got a hard flood on here. The Bloods just trying to stop goals being scored against them into the breeze. Caruso, like a little tiger, went in. He was playing against the Tigers, and Mules got it out towards himself, couldn't get it out in the end, and all held to him.
If West Adelaide force a goal here late into this third quarter, they'll have all the momentum going in the last.
You almost think they'd be uncatchable if they turned three in front with the Breeds. They're two in front. Well done by Fisher, got a kick forward. Almost held was Fisher of the for the Westies, but ball came out to block from Ruwald. Good kick short for Kirkby. Did he mark it this time? He's put it down again. Almost could have got a free kick. Play on. Blocks short kick to the goal square. Well done getting back. Was he tackled? Could have been holding the footy. It was. In fact, it was incorrect disposal. And that's going to cost them the goal, you'd think, because the free kick will go to Glenelg, and he's kicking from 25 metres out, virtually directly in front.
Yeah, and very late into the third quarter as well. And Glenelg is going to line up from 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle, kicking with the breeze at his back. And Glenelg has already kicked one today. Could become the first multiple goal scorer for the Tigers if he does kick the goal. Comes in now, and the umpire runs into a player there. So Glenelg kicks truly. He's got his second, and all of a sudden Glenelg are edging close. They trail by just 8 points now. 8 goals, 12-60. They trail West Adelaide 10-8-68. That's on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard, and we've played 5 minutes of time on in this third quarter, courtesy of the station-sponsored Grand Central Time Clock. And a few interchanges coming there, and the West Adelaide player coming on, Plant.
And off was Rowe, thanks to Sports Power, and I can tell you that's 3 in a row to the base.
Worth remembering that West Adelaide do have a winning record at glider roll. 43-42 and a draw. History doesn't often mean a lot on the day itself. So this next goal is going to be very telling for the contest.
Well, this next breakaway from centre square could also be very telling.
25 minutes into the third term, West clinging onto an 8-point lead. Cranston, Moran, that really should be recalled. It bounced right outside the circle. Comes out, Liebelt, back to Allen, Liebelt. Long, looping handball, looking for Panozzo, spots him up, goes further afield. Strong mark taken out there by Kirkby, playing a long way up, wheels onto the left boot. It's going to land about 30 out. Golding's in front position and he holds it. Oh, that was a good, strong mark.
Yeah, station sponsor Peter, you highlight that mark from Golding. Again, we saw where Glenelg are bringing the ball in long, something that West Adelaide did in that second quarter, and it was a one-on-one competition, and Golding just had too much strength there and took a good strong mark, as we said, a station sponsor PDK highlight. So Golding now from about 40 metres out, slight angle, kicking to the north end. The kick is on its way. The goal umpire said, "That'll do me, boys. I've got two in a row." Golding, that's his third, and Glenelg edging closer. Trail by just 2 points now, 9-12-66. West Adelaide 10-8-68. That's on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard. And the station sponsor, the Grand Central Time Clock, says we've played 26 minutes of this third quarter, the premiership quarter, and Glenelg are getting closer and trailing by just 2 points after trailing by 22 at half-time.
So the Bays, they needed a multiple goal kicker to stand up, and Dudley's providing that avenue to go. He's kicked two in a few minutes, and they're right back in the contest. 2-point game, was 28-point game. Cranston won it down. Well done by Beach, who got the footy for the Bloods. Handball wide. Play under all sorts of pressure. Could have been Davenport. Care's now got the footy. Dispossessed. Was it in the back? Umpire said it was, but it was Fisher of the Ben variety. He's got the footy. Chris Kane, the infringer. And they're looking to go backwards here, the Bloods, and need up some clock. Davenport got the footy, went back by a hand to Smith. He's under pressure. Ruwalt. Smith's got Davenport's got the footy again. He went to Ben Fisher, who kicked forward this time along the wing. Moran's there, big fly for Ferguson. Great mark by Moran. And he's playing a game, Darryl.
He certainly is. He's probably the best big man on the ground at the moment.
Brad Moran putting his hand up for Crow selection. Davenport went back to Moran. He's under pressure now. Play on. There goes the siren. Probably luckily for Westies because they turned it over. Fisher had the footy. But a good quarter for the Bays. They kicked 4 goals to the Bloods, 1. To be 9-12-66. Westies still lead on the Williams Brothers scoreboard, station sponsored 10-8-68, a margin of 2 points.
Yes, in that quarter, Glenelg managed to kick 4 goals, 4, whereas the West Adelaide side could manage just 1 goal, 2. Goal scorers for West Adelaide, you've got Ferguson with 3, 2 there to Caruso and Davenport, and then singles there to Cupido, Izzard and Beach. For Glenelg, Golding's got 3, kicked 2 in that quarter, and then singles there to Willoughby, Seller, Block, Kane, Holmes and Ruwalt. So 3-quarter time here at Glider Roll Stadium. It is the station sponsored Anchor Securities game of the day, and it is West Adelaide 10-8-68. They lead Glenelg 9-12-66 by 2 points. They did lead by 22 points at halftime, but they trailed by 16. Today's game plan now changes to see whether they do go long in this quarter.
Well, they were 27 points up at the 7-minute mark of that quarter, and like I said, they went straight back into their shells. You would think now it has to be all-out attack. They can't possibly afford to start defending a 2-point lead. They've got to go all out for it.
Yeah, got to be attack at all costs.
And believe in themselves. They believed really strongly in the second quarter. They've got to get that self-belief back again. This is going to happen with a younger team. This is a real challenge for Andy Collins to see where his boys are at.
So the umpire's got the footy in his hands. Look like the crowd are off the ground, so he'll hold the footy aloft in a minute. The Westies side lead by 2 points, trying to bring up a win. They'll kick with the breeze, but the Bays are close enough if they're good enough. Siren goes. Start the last quarter here. Moran will do battle with Cranston. Down it goes now. And Moran under it. Did well to get a tap down. Allen went in, couldn't get the footy. Well done by Davenport getting a touch. Free kick here off the footy is going to be Rowe. So Bloods will go into attack first.
It's tackled high.
Jeremy Rowe back in the side today. He goes long inside 50. Willits is in a good position. Can he take it? Good spoil Seller. Ground level though, a chance for the Bloods. The handball was straight to Hinge, and he will handle to Seller. And Glenelg are out of trouble. Panozzo's got the footy on half back. He'll run almost to the wing here, Panozzo. Then kicks short for Fisher. In fact, it's Chris Kane take a really good mark. Kick to Dudley. tried to work his opponent out of it, did, but he couldn't hang on to it, and Cupido's now got the footy and he can relieve for the Bloods.
It was good play by Cupido there.
Yeah, the football intelligence of Cupido, that was wonderful work. Over to Bailey. He's opposed on a wing to McConnell. That'll be an interesting battle to watch. Comes in, Greg Rowe, couldn't quite hang on to it. Bowes player taken a little bit high. Davenport's ridden his opponent into the ground, and it's going to be a free. So Fisher. He's been a little bit quieter also in this second half. They need a big final turn for him. Looking for Glenelg. Goes over the top. McConnell. He's trying to keep it in front of himself. Goes to ground at the wrong time. Pushed in the back by his own teammate. Chris Kane. Twisting, turning, back to Glenelg. Goes over the top. Ben Kane has a snap. It's curling and curling. Not quite far enough. Wrong side of the post. But the margin's back to 1 point now. 10-8-68 West Adelaide. Glenelg 9-12-67.
That's on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard, and gee whiz, Tigers going into attack. West Adelaide need to attack at all costs here.
So the momentum is with Glenelg, and Westies need to somehow change that. Barber's got the footy. He's got Fisher out here on his own on the grandstand side, but he elects to go the other way. Pack is out there. The kick landed in Cupido's hands off the bounce. Great handball to Piasani. They're in the centre already. This is Langford who'll bomb them into attack. Player on his own. He's fought Caruso. Will it sit for him? It will. He's got Willits over the top. Who handball to Willits, who should kick a goal, and he does. Great team goal to the West Adelaide side. They ran that from fullback without the base touching it, and that's the momentum shift they needed. They're 11 goals, 8-74. Glenelg 9-13-67, margin of 7 points, and the Bays have got all before them, Dal.
It certainly has, but it was interesting. The kick from Barber actually came out to the outer side of the ground. It was actually looking for Moran, but it went over everybody's head and it bounced in the arms of Cupido. Cupido looked stunned to have it. He then gave him a looping handball over the top to Piasante, who then kicked it in long. Caruso was on his own with no one within 50 metres of him. He was able to get the ball, pick the ball up and handball over the top to the Glenelg opponent and give Wirtz his first goal.
Thought he did it well there, Caruso. Chris, he could have panicked there, but he didn't.
Caruso spent an awful lot of time by himself today. I said that John Hinge has moved to him now.
Recalled.
Has been recalled.
That's the fourth one today, guys. 11-8-74. That's West Adelaide leading Glenelg 9-13-67.
Yep, throw it up, I say, and he does. Comes out the back. Going to end up with Moran. Gee, he's been good today. Goes over the top to Fisher. That's of the Ben variety. Kicks up towards half forward. Caruso, Hinge. Who's going to get it? Caruso gets the hand in against the bigger man and forces a boundary throw in. Gee, he's been impressive.
Yeah, good play there by Caruso. That's a station sponsor, PDK highlight. He had the two tools coming at him, was able to jump up and spoil the ball, and in doing so has forced the ball over the boundary line for throwing.
Cranston, Moran, Cranston gets it down to Allen, dispossessed, gets it back in, Cranston to hand, over the top, Fisher, running for it, Panozzo, goes to Ruwald, Panozzo, switches over the top, sloppy handball, it's setting blocker task, just keeps it in, Willoughby, pops out of it at the wrong time,
Well done.
Cupido, Anderson, he's looking for Cupido again, but he elects to go back, where he's got Schmidt, looking to switch into defence. It's going to be a dinky little kick. It's going to sit for care.
It's right, they're on here.
Goes over the top. Got a player moving into an acre of space on the outer side wing. It looks to be Davenport. Now it's going to end up now with Davenport.
That was Piasante, guys.
Switching over. Westies going deep into attack. Willits, one out. Can he hold it? Punches it down. Intelligent footy. And it's going to be a free to Willits. He was being held.
Yeah, the umpire called holding on, so Willits now has got an opportunity to stretch that lead out. They do lead by 7 points at the moment, does West Adelaide, and Willits kicked the last goal for the West Adelaide side, has an opportunity to put number 2 on the board. He's going to kick from the true centre-half forward position, around about 40 metres out, directly in front. And he needs to kick this, so Willits comes in now. Saunders in, the kick is on its way, it's kicked truly. The goal umpire is moving a little bit to the left and has indicated that it's a minor score. So another behind on the board for West Adelaide. They go to 11 goals, 9-75. Glenelg 9-13-67. In this sort of game, you've really got to take your opportunities when you can, and Willits missed a golden opportunity there to stretch that lead out for West Adelaide.
Yeah, he's a full-time blood now, Willits, and those are the type of goals he needs to kick for them. He's their spearhead, and he does miss some kickable ones at big occasions in matches. As Mills holds it over his head, then kicks to the grandstand side half-back line. Seller. Out position brilliantly by Moran. He went to Izard by hand, got it back to Moran by hand. Under pressure is Anderson, who just thumps it on the boot. And it's going to go through for a behind. Good distance on the kick, but he didn't have the accuracy. Blood's lead is out to 9 points. And we're going to see, could be Button, I reckon, taking the kick in.
Button to bring it in. That was actually Willits having a flying shot. Button. This is where West have been quite disciplined at the kick-ins. They've forced Glenelg onto the grandstand side each time, whereas West have kept going towards the outer side. That's going to be out in the full. Terrible kick.
Yeah, station sponsor for that run, Chris, is a station sponsor, Smithfield Crash Clanger, as Bailey's got the free kick.
So Bailey wheeling around, looks to set up to the hot spot. Westies have got a few options down here, trying to rush it through. No, Hinge elects to keep it in play, takes a bounce. Gee, he tried to sell him some candy. He's working his way back into trouble. Now he ends up with it again over the top. Oh, he's sold his teammate into a hell of a lot of trouble. Ruwald bustled over the boundary line. We're going to have a throw in.
West Adelaide's tackling is ferocious at the moment. They're fighting and chasing everything down, which is great to see. And Andy Collins, the coach, would be very pleased with his charges. They're doing that. That's a fantastic achievement.
45 metres out from the Westies' goal. They'd love a goal from this stoppage. Kane. Davies trying to work his way out the back. Gets it out. Davies again. No, it comes over the top. Glenelg, they're going to try and rush it out. G. Moran's in the good spot for this one. Comes over the top. Drops the chest mark he should have hurled. Chris Kane takes over the boundary line. We're going to have a throw in.
They've got a couple of loose players in the midfield here. Have West Adelaide. If Moran can get it out. Bailey hovering.
Moran. Davies also working down the front, just goes over his head, working his way through heavy traffic neatly was Ben Kane, sends it up towards true centre half forward, McConnell, it sits for him, West Adelaide players are straight onto him, ridden into the ground, they're calling for holding the ball, Westies, you won't get it, and it's going to be a ball up, 70 metres out from the Glenelg goal.
7 minutes gone, courtesy of station sponsor Grand Central, and it's a 9-point ball game in favour of West Adelaide.
West Adelaide tackling great so far in the last quarter. Moran's hit down, went to McConnell, who went long one-on-one. Dudley, can he mark it? No, was in fringe what he was. And probably a fair decision, Darryl. I reckon the West Adelaide player just panicked, he was out of position and maybe just got in the back of Dudley.
Yeah, he certainly did, and the umpire was right there and has paid the free kick, and Dudley, who's kicked 3 goals so far, has the opportunity now to kick his 4th. He's virtually directly in front, 15 metres out, kicking to the school end here of Glenelg Stadium. So Doldy comes in, and what's he done? He's actually sprayed it through. He's kicked the goal. So he's got his 4th, and Glenelg now have got their 10th. They go to 10 goals, 13. That is 73. They trail West Adelaide by 3 points. West Adelaide 11, 10, 76. That's on the station sponsor, Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard, as another ball comes in, as that one stayed on the roof of the school. That school must have 1,000 footies over there.
And there we see, Darryl, the importance of that miss from Ryan Willits. That would have put him out by 15 points.
Yep.
For the 3-point game now.
Okay, so critical now this centre break for both sides. West Adelaide have got the big tall guns in there and Moran. And gee whiz, a game on here at Glenelg Stadium. Good crowding too.
Izard's moved into the middle along with Hinge. That'll be entertaining. Lovely bounce from the umpire. Moran gets the advantage. Almost goes down to Izard. Allen could have been taken high. Nothing doing. Ball up. Yeah, this centre break is going to be really critical. Moran and Cranston again. Another lovely bounce. It's the advantage of Glenelg. Davenport switching over to Piasante. Gets it out the back. Schmidt. Over the shoulder, surely no. Now they're coming over the top again. West Adelaide looking to bomb it deep in towards the attacking zone. Willits is in the front position. Just goes over his head. Bustled over it. Caruso lurking at the back of the pack. Was Willits throw in? Was Willits taken down unfairly there? Then possibly could have been called for chopping. It would have certainly been an AFL free.
Melbourne 14-15 leading Richmond 12-12.
The Tigers coming back in the AFL. Can they do the same in the SANFL? Anderson comes out. Doldig.
Well played, Izard.
Izard is clever football. They're calling for holding the ball. Nothing doing. Ball up. Just moving it forward by inches, West Adelaide. Willits goes into the ruck. Tries to punch it further afield. Kirkby just trying to farm it out by hand, ridden into the turf. Got another stoppage. Ball up.
Should be fighting hard, aren't they, West Adelaide, to hold it in their area.
Both teams fighting really hard for possession. Willits and Cranston again. So that must mean that Moran's drifting further up the ground. That'll be handy if there's a turnover.
Yeah, Moran's here on centre wing.
Willits, nobody really got it. Cranston gets the handball over the top for Hinge. Just takes it by hand to Fisher. Now to Ben Kane on the grandstand wing. Moran's in the best position for this and takes it. Gee, he's been strong in the air all day. Right in front of the grandstand wing. West Adelaide out by 3 points. 11 minutes gone, final term. Switches it out to Bailey. This is very dangerous stuff. He's going to want to sit for Bailey. He's going to need a teammate to lend some support. Kirkby goes in and it's going to be a full-up.
It's just unbelievable football from a AFL-listed player to go backwards in a one-on-one competition when you've got to score goals to win the game. Why wouldn't he kick it long to centre forward?
Crazy stuff. Bounces an absolute Smithfield crash clanger, and I think it's going to be recalled.
Unbelievable
He's going to throw it up. That's number 5 for the bounce recalls, and Moran, just hard to fathom what he was thinking there. He put Bailey under all sorts of pressure, and it could have easily been turned over for a goal.
That could be the turning point.
Luckily for Westies, it wasn't. Ball up, 60 metres from the Bay's goal. Well done, Bronick Davies. His kick will come down with snow on it. Willoughby was there with Davenport. Chris Kane gathered, was tackled immediately, got a handball to Willoughby. He'll kick inside 50. McConnell just went over his head. And those are little inch-by-inch things that can decide games of footy. And Cupido, who's close to best on ground, has taken the mark 30 metres out from his defensive goal.
And Moran off and Fisher on through the station-sponsored sports bar interchange gates.
Cupido called a play and went to Kerr, who's right in his full back line. He goes to Smith. Under some pressure, went to Cupido. He's got 3 or 4 around him, composed. Well done, Cupido, although the kick wasn't very good. Let Fisher in. He did a blind turn as he gathered. Kick to the centering kick was straight to a Westies player. Bronick Davies was the only man home. He went to play on, and he's probably lucky he wasn't called to do so.
I reckon he did. I reckon he fell in the actual art of taking the mark there. So I don't reckon he did try to play on.
Given the benefit, and he'll kick outside defensive 50 to the wing. Good mark by Hinge. Only man really who set himself for it. And Glenelg have got the momentum. They're only 3 points down. They're into a breeze. But we know Westies have forgotten how to win games of footy in recent years. Sella from 60 metres, spotted up Kirkby, and he should have hit him, and he didn't. Ball went over his head. West Adelaide player tackled. Good second effort by Kirkby. He's got the footy now, and he did very, very well. He's held the footy in the area. They ball up right in front of the score, which shows the West Adelaide side leading by 3 points.
Westies want to be mindful not to go into the handball game too much. They've seen in the second quarter how effective the long kicking game has been. They've had 5 or 6 handballs in a row before. Cupido emerges from the stoppage, player all by himself. Jonathan Beach sits, gets it, spots over the top. He's got a teammate moving for him, hits him. Now they're going long into the attacking zone. Can this be a mark to Ferguson? No, he's just been held. Surely being held, umpire. Nothing doing, goes up towards the hot spot. Glenelg back here.
Poor decision by the umpire there. Ferguson was certainly held there.
Definitely.
Ben Mills takes the relieving mark. Spots up Ben Kane, just holds it. They're still at half-back, switching over the top. Panozzo. The ball magnet takes it again, off to Hinge. Sells him into trouble, back to Panozzo. Going out towards the half-forward line. Cupido's lurking at the fall of the ball, gets the punch in. Barber, he's calling for the mark, and he's held it.
I reckon he almost did mark that. Barber, I reckon it was him that fisted it. Where he's been paid.
Pay that.
They're switching back. Kerr to the last line of defence for West Adelaide. They don't mind switching across the ground. It's going to want to be a precise target, and it is. Towards Farrier. Going over Langford. Oh, he's run down. They're selling themselves in a bit of trouble now, Westies. Farrier.
So the handball to standing play.
Over the top. Davenport, Bailey. Back in board, Izar. Put him under a heap of pressure. Too much handball, breaking down. Ends up at centre half forward with Kane. Now off to the running play in. Panozzo goes long into attack all by himself. That looks to be O'Grady.
Yep.
And he'll be lining up from the scoreboard pocket. Daryl, that broke in under too many handballs from West.
Well, it's not so much too many handballs, it's just the final one is poorly executed. That's the thing. And when it happens like that, it goes to a player who's standing still. Glenelg have got the momentum to take it, and that's just a poorly executed handball. If it comes off, everybody thinks it's great play. But O'Grady's ended up with Grady as the turnover was costly, and he was standing in the forward pocket on his own. He's on about a 60-degree angle, kicking to the primary school end, right under the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard. So in he comes now, O'Grady. The kick is on its way. The goal up by his only move, just to put up the 2 fingers. A fantastic kick by O'Grady. That's a station sponsor, PDK highlight. That's his first, and Glenelg have hit the front. They got 11 goals, 13, 79. They lead West Adelaide 11-10, 73 on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard.
First goal in league footy to Richard O'Grady on debut today. And an important one. He's put his side in front. They were 28 points down in the third quarter. They've kicked the last 5 of the contest.
First time they've been in front since the 17-minute mark of the second term.
In fact, I'll correct that. West Adelaide did kick one, but they've kicked 6 of the last 7. The Tigers 2 of the last 3 in this quarter. Cranston to go at it. Willits is in the ruck. Moran has been a pivotal player in there, but he's been moved out. Well done by Willits. Davies, he's been good. His kick was cut off by Mayer, though. He'll send the bays forward. Tackled as he kicked it, but it sits for O'Grady's in business. It does. Went to Pinozzo. His handball was good for Ruod. If he gathers, he's in here. Though good tackle by the Bloods. They just forced the pressure on them, and then Kirkby's kick to a hot spot. Flying was, looked like Allen. At ground level was Adlington. Tackled, he threw that. Had to have been a throw, and it was. And good tackling by the Bloods. They need to kick some goals though, West Adelaide. They've got it at the wrong end of the field.
They need to get it down to their 40. They've got two tools down there.
And they're going sideways. Davies went to Schmidt, whose long kick to half forward. Ferguson had to punch from behind. Caruso at ground level gathered, was tackled. Well done though, it came out to Davenport. His handball gave, in fact this is Davenport from 50. We know it's a thumping kick. He's registered a score, but only a behind. And that brings them back within 2 points.
Okay, Moran back on for West Adelaide through the Sports Power interchange gates. And coming off was Willits.
That could be a critical shot, that one from Davenport.
Plenty of time left, guys. We're just starting into time on now, so we've probably got another 5 or 6 minutes to go. And gee whiz, West Adelaide need to pinch a goal here to win the game.
Care comes off and Plant going back on. Fresh legs in the midfield now for Andy Collins. Could be very important in this final 12 minutes or so of football. Glenelg leading by 2 points. Ball's being held up in the air. As Malcolm Blight said, the secret signal that everybody knows. Now it goes on towards the outer side. Good, strong mark taken to the front there by Cranston. Switching over the top. There's on the outer side wing. Could be a turnover, and it is.
He's got Moran in the middle and Bailey all on their own.
That was a good mark from Izard. He bats outside of his weight division a lot.
It took too long, didn't he?
Looking to go long. Oh, he spins around the player on the mark. Unloads from 70. It's a bit of a helicopter. Willits in front position. And he holds it. In the end, it was a clever sort of kick. And as a matter of fact, the player lining up will be Braden Fisher for his first shot at goal.
He certainly was. He was in front, and that's the important place to be when the ball's coming in long, because it does drop short on occasions, and that was a real finger breaker and did just that. And Fisher was in front and took a good strong mark, and he's marked it around about 30 metres out directly in front. So what the pressure on the boy will do as he comes in now. Fisher kicking to the Jetty Road end. Comes in now, stutters. Got to kick through the ball. The umpire says he has done that, and he's got his first. And West Adelaide are back in front now. They've got their 12th. They go to 12 goals 11. That's 83. They lead by 4 points over the Tigers, who are 11 goals 13, 79. And that's on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard. And the station-sponsored Grand Central Time Clock says we're just starting into time on this final quarter. And this next centre break is so vital in this competition.
Gee, talk about defining quarters of footy. I reckon this will have a big say in how the Bloods go this year, this quarter. If they can travel to the Bay Oval and beat last year's grand finalists, the belief might start to filter through to this playing group, who've been so starved of success. If they lose, it'll just be another tale of heartbreak. As the ball's back in the centre, Moran has been moved back in. Good move, I feel, by Andy Collins, Darryl.
Yep, certainly is, and you need your best players around the ball, and that's what he's got.
So Cranston and Moran, big centre break this one. Cranston flew, Moran won it. Ben Kane sharked it, setting the bays forward. Flying and taking a good strong mark was O'Grady, who stepped up the youngster in his first game. He's 55 out from goal. He'll go very short, but he's got a player on that looked like it could have been. Holmes will kick on goal, and he'll hit the post. And that was a bit of a let-off for the Bloods. They let Tommy Holmes alone in too much space, but they've gotten away with it, and they've brought it in quickly through to Cupido.
So Cupido twisting himself into trouble, but he puts out the don't argue. Comes long. Player sitting under it nicely is Davies, who is surely nudged out of it. It's going to be a free kick.
Oh, that's going to be advantage. That is an absolutely ridiculous rule there. That umpire saw the player running onto it, and he's called the ball back. That could be very costly for West Adelaide. The player running onto it was Davies, all on his own, and would have been streaming towards goal.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, Darryl. Jonathan Beach to take the free. In front of the grandstand wing, sends up towards centre half forward. Plenty of fists on the ball. One of those is Fisher. Braden, we're going to have a ball up just on the West Adelaide side of the centre square at half forward. They're 70 metres out from goal, leading by 3 points. 21 and a half minutes gone, final term. What a boost this would be for the West Adelaide Football Club if they can come down here and knock off the Tigers. Cranston gets a tap out, looking for a ball up and getting it. Tigers getting plenty of players around the ball. Panozzo fighting for the same square inch of space with Beach. Izard.
Jeez, he's been good.
Could have been taken high, and he was.
He's there, free kick.
Deserved that.
And look at Moran sprinting back into the goal square there. Got some tall timber back there.
Davenport also making space. Izard goes along over the top. It's an interesting sort of handball. It's going to come back. Bailey unloads from 55. It's going to fall just short. Punch in there. Discipline work from the Glenelg defence. Looking to bring it out. It's going to come out into the Panozzo direction. This will set him a challenge. He's worked under it beautifully by Anderson. Taken high. They're looking for deliberate. Ball just stays outside the boundary line. Going to have a throw in 52 metres around from the West Adelaide goal.
I reckon Panozzo knew what he was doing there and he got away with it, wanted the boundary. Throw in, Moran in front, good hit down. Beach, can he send them forward? The whistle.
Free kick to Moran.
And
play on
advantage. So this is Plant, he'll send them forward. Ferguson's in a great spot here, but good spoil. Lebo did brilliantly. Got it to Mayer, who went to Willoughby, whose handle was a poor one. Cut off here, this is Rose with a chance. He gets it to Izard. Ball on 50 for the Bloods, now it's in dispute. Diving in was Willoughby. Desperation stuff for Glenelg. They know if they concede another one, they're in trouble. Umpire letting this go.
Oh, gee.
And then he whistles it just as the ball comes out.
Yeah, unbelievable. The umpire is circling like a little shark there and waits till the ball comes out, then he calls it for himself.
So we're going to have a ball up 50 metres around from the West Adelaide goal. I reckon if they kick one here, they'll just about go on and win this. Deep in time on, last quarter. Fisher's kick was smothered. Lux of Fortune landed in Kane's arms. He'll send the Bloods forward. Kirkby's there against Cupido. Well done, Ben Fisher. He couldn't mark it. He's got the footy now and he's tackled by McConnell. Definitely held to him. And the umpire agreed with me and he's going to have ball this one up. We're 50 metres from the Bays goal. They trail by 3 points. We've played close to 25 minutes last quarter. Can the Bloods hang on? Hit down by Moran, found Izard. He was tackled. Smith's down there as well.
He really has stepped up in this second half.
Gutsy player, isn't he, Daryl Izard? And he keeps going in hard and winning these stoppages for them.
He's been great.
51 metres out from the Glenelg goal. Both players plenty of numbers around the stoppage. Westies have got some loose men in defence. Mark Mickett will want to man up on a couple of these. Not crowded turnover. Comes out. Seller goes long. Panozzo running with the flight of the ball. That was courageous. It fell just short. He's turning himself back into trouble. Coming long. Ruwald unloads. Goes towards the hot spot. They need a mark, the Tigers. Can they get the crumbs? Snap the winning goal. Player surely being held without it. It's going to be a free. Rory Kirkby. Oh, he was held a long time there, Daryl Smith, and this is a chance there for Glenelg to rest back the advantage.
Damien Cupido is shattered at the moment.
Yeah.
The game's still there to be won, though.
He's still got to kick the goal, doesn't he? So he's got to go. He's got to kick from around about 40 metres out, 45 to the ground, or kicking to the school end.
It's his man, Cupido, as well, Kirkby. Not that he gave away the free kick.
No, he did the right thing by support. So Kirkby coming in now. Kick is on its way. He has kicked truly. He has got his first, and Glenelg have got their lead back. They go to 12 goals, 14, 86. They lead by 3 points, 12, 11, 83. And Kirkby has kicked his first goal late in the last quarter. That's on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard. 5 minutes of time on gone, courtesy of station-sponsored Grand Central Time Clock. This centre break now is vital.
Ryan Willett's preparing to come back on, thanks to Sports Power. And West Adelaide have been so gallant, so gutsy, so many workers in there, but they're trailing now and they need a goal. Ball up, Moran and Cranston. Cranston won it down well, diving in and getting a free kick for the Bays. You guessed it, Ty Allen. Always a workhorse. Handled to Ben Kane, who kicked forward. Kirkby and Cupido. Big contest this one. Kirkby's gather was brilliant. His handball to Rua was okay. And there's a whistle and it's going to be another one to Kirkby. Beach gave it away. And right now the Bays leading and with momentum, and they could steal one here at Gliderol. Kirkby's got it. 2 kicks from goal. He'll lob this to the goal square. Duldy will set himself. He'll fly now. Pack of players. Glenelg player got hands to it. Play on. Fisher at ground level for the Blood was tackled. And it's held to him, and West Adelaide need to get a clean possession from this stoppage, Darryl, and they need to run it down the other end and score.
Yeah, they've got to get it long and direct, don't they?
26 and a half minutes gone. Spillage. Izard couldn't take it cleanly. Going to be another ball up. This is playing into Glenelg's hands now. They can afford to just get numbers around and keep crowding the stoppages and hang on to that lead. Look at the number of loose men they've got run across centre now too, Glenelg.
Yeah, they've got 3 loose players, almost 4 loose players there.
Yep, Cranston, Panozzo. Ball's coming out there, Chris Kane. Looking
Good for the Bays.
I reckon that's holding the ball because he actually contested the ruck there and grabbed it. So
And he made no attempt to get rid of it there, Chris Kane.
took it out of the air. 27 minutes gone, final term. Player being held.
Moran will
It'll be
get
a
kicked.
3-2. Glenelg, and it's going to be Kirkby again.
Gee,
Doldig.
Doldig it is, and he can actually kick this. He's a massive kicker of the football, is Doldig. It was actually a free kick against Moran for in the back.
and I think that was a wrong decision, I've got to say.
Could be a tragedy beating Westies.
Okay, well in they come now. Doldig kicking to the school end. Has already kicked 4, has Doldig. Can he be the hero for Glenelg? In he comes from right on 50. The drop punt's on its way. It looks good off the boot, but it is just fading at the last minute. This does give possession back to West Adelaide though. That's a point, so they go to 12 goals 15, 87. West Adelaide 12 goals 11, 83. That's on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard. And you expect that the West Adelaide player would kick the ball, and that is Barber, as far down the middle as he possibly can.
One last better off with Cupido taking it and booting it.
One last roll of the dice. Barber thumped it as Darrell instructed him to do so. Ferguson was there off hands. Westies need someone to run onto it. Izard, but he's at ground level. He dived, he turned it over. In the end, though, the Bloods couldn't come through. Mayer went for Fisher, got it back, did block. His kick forward for the Bays. Barber and McConnell one-on-one. McConnell's clever in this situation as he pushed in the back. Umpire said no, blocks, kick was smothered. Desperate stuff. Izard's got the footy. Now Smith. Westies a chance to run. Bronick Davies was tackled. Play on to the umpire. They're not going anywhere quick at the moment, the Bloods. And Caruso's been tackled just outside defensive 50 for the West Adelaide side. They need to get a clean possession here and run the ball forward. They just look to me like they're running out of puff a bit at the moment, the Bloods.
Running out of time, aren't they?
Ball up. Ferguson, desperate stuff. So many players around the footy. Fisher in there for the Glenelg side. Adam Fisher. And he achieved the desired result. Fourth, another stoppage. There it is! Heartbreak for the Bloods at Glenelg Stadium. They led for most of the day. But when the final siren sounded, it's going to be the Bays, 12 goals, 15, 87. West Adelaide, 12, 11, 83. A 4-point win at Glenelg Stadium on the Angus Securities match of the day to the Bays.
Yeah, in that quarter, West Adelaide, Glenelg managed 3 goals, 3, and the West Adelaide side kicking with the breeze can manage just 2 goals, 3. So the 4-point victory to the Tigers in what was a fantastic game. Glenelg led by 16 points at quarter time. It was 22 points in favour of West Adelaide at half time, and then 2 points at 3/4 time in favour of the West Adelaide side. But the true strength and character, Glenelg came out fighting in that final quarter and held on to win by 4 points. Goal scorers for Glenelg, Doldig with 4, and then it was singles there to Willoughby, Seller, Block, Kane, Holmes, Rewalt, O'Grady and Kirkby. For West Adelaide, Ferguson with 3, Caruso with 2, Davenport with 2, and then singles there to Cupido, Izard, Beach, Willits and Fisher. Great game of football here at Glenelg Stadium, and it was a 4-point victory to Glenelg over West Adelaide. The final score, 12 goals, 15, 87. That is Glenelg. They have defeated West Adelaide, an unlucky and gallant West Adelaide, you must say. West Adelaide 12 goals, 11, 83. That is on the station-sponsored Williams Brothers Welding scoreboard. We'll go back to the studio.